Mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi, and she yells, "Oh, girl, you gotta hear this one." A man was arrested for running the theme park, and when they said, "Where's your license?" he said, "My dog ate it." Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on her Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, "Girl, you gotta hear this one." Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, "You'll never guess what's with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up." Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a Prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, "Girl, you gotta hear this one."
Hey guys, it's Squid. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday morning. Oh, I'm tired, but here we are. It's going to be a busy day, so I got to get this done early. I have 18 other million things that I want to talk about. Also, I did hook up my new computer and rehooked everything up. So this is my first stream, and I'm testing audio settings and the like, because everything got taken apart and put back together. So please let me know if anything sounds weird, looks weird, acts weird. Just a weird day. I am exhausted. My neck hurts. I slept funky. Right under my incision is giving me drama today. So if you ever see me like do this, I slept funky. I woke up in the middle of the night and my neck hurt like hell. Hope everybody is doing well. Janet, this happens to me all the time. Baby Squid uses my YouTube. She has YouTube Kids, but she uses my YouTube a lot, so I can keep an eye on what she's doing a little closer. And I go through at least once a week and unsubscribe to all the random sprunky Roblox weird stuff that she subscribes me to. So, yeah, I completely can relate to that. And Roy, good morning. I hope you and the wife are doing well this morning. Daniel, how are you? I hope this judge does not agree with Flea. Well, she had already submitted this motion. Technically, it was Exhibit C of her amended or motion for leave to amend the motion. So technically, they just resubmitted it. She didn't do anything. The judge put in an order granting it and then told the clerk to resubmit Exhibit C as exhibit or docket number 106 and this. So we've already read this, but now that it's official, we're just going to kind of read through it again and laugh at how she thinks she's a lawyer and people mistake her for a lawyer all the time. I'm not a lawyer for anybody that is watching this. I have never claimed to be a lawyer. I will never claim to be a lawyer. Maybe someday a paralegal, probably not, but they're, I have dreams. So we're just going to analyze it and just get a refresher because document 87 was a while ago. we're on document 106. So document 87 was just a little bit of a, yeah, I know it's a bunch of nothing. However, it's in there. It is what it is. And we get to analyze yet again how she thinks that she's a lawyer, but really has no idea. Morning from Corpus Christi. Oh, hope it's nice and not humid there. Teresa Taylor, good morning. Sharon, good morning. Host looks weird. Ha ha, you're funny. Ha, you're funny. You're funny. Like, Jen, good morning. Hope you're feeling better soon. That was what I was supposed to say. You know, that right there too. And I have had people in my comments asking me if I'm a lawyer. I am not, but I will never claim to be. I've never claimed to be mistaken for a lawyer. I am just a layperson who likes learning and knowing about the law because of the fact that if we are more educated on the law, we can hold the people who are in power and are supposed to be held to a higher standard accountable. If we don't know what their jobs are, like the amount of people, and this is nothing personal against anybody, but the amount of people that have said, well, why can't Judge Belaytho, why hasn't he just Googled them or like looked them up or researched the client or the parties? He would be so much more informed. He legally and ethically cannot, according to the American Bar Association. So there's that. Oh, Ung Hung Hero, you have my dude. I want to give your fiance a giant hug today. You too, but her mostly. So, like, oh, Kasha, I will post in the Discord a video that I took from my garage door, like inside my garage. It sounded like someone was trying to beat down my door. It was just really bad. It was really bad yesterday. Like I have a picture of our front windows where you literally can't see anything. It looks like someone is taking a bucket of water and throwing it on the house. I will post those in the Discord today because, you know, it was bad. Morning. All right, so let's get into this. And thank you, Ung Hung Hero, for the 50 Squid Pro Quo memberships. Holy goodness. I'm watching all these like roll in and I'm like, did they just keep going? And it's like, goodness. It's hard to believe that many people actually subscribe to me. It's still hard to believe. Like, what would you like? Your water is right over there, baby. You want mommy's water. Okay. It's always better when it comes from it's always better when it comes from mommy's cup, right? It always tastes better when it comes from me. Uh-huh. All right, let's get into this. Oh, good morning. How are you? Mountain Trails Gem Jewelry. And I am sorry if I many haters will be outed today turning green. Yeah, it's always funny the people that claim that they hate me and I'm this horrible person and ooh, let there be light. And all of a sudden they get outed with a gifted membership and it's like, woo. Don't hate me as much as I thought you did or you claim you do. Hey, Allie, just popping in to say hi before I head over to the Donna A trial. Yeah, the Donna Adelson trial. I honestly have a whole lot of no knowledge. I know the names, but like details of that case, it's one of those cases that it was too twisty and turny to keep track of everything. So I brain dumped it. All right, and because I actually shut down my my stuff last night, I have to reopen everything. So I apologize for not being prepared. It is early. I don't stream this early anymore, specifically because I could not be prepared like I want to be this early in the morning. All right. And we will open the judge's order first. And I am looking into, now that it popped up on my screen, a school board in Tennessee that is being sued by some parents over their treatment of a 6-year-old. So we will be going into that tomorrow. And we have some body cam footage from the local news station that we will be looking at too, from the school resource officer. So join me tomorrow if you want to be pissed off at yet another school board. You got your keyboard? Are you going to type? Oh, move over.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's your Angel. Here's your mouse. Here. You're welcome. You want to come up here?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Baby squid brain. Ugh. Angel. Yeah. This desk ain't big enough for the both of us. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not a dig at you, baby girl. It's just a fact. All right. Uh-oh. You're okay. You're okay. It's okay. Oh my goodness. Well, and we have a Logitech keyboard that's corded for when I was transferring over both computers, and I just left it out because she likes to act like she's typing. So if you hear somebody beating on a keyboard, I apologize. Thank you. And she's my social media manager, and she runs the yeah. Thank you. Except for she's cute. I'm not. I'd pass that. All right. Can we get started reading this?
Yes.
Okay. I have your permission now. Yep. Why isn't it? Hold on. I'm getting a. Uh-oh.
Oh, this is not.
Yeah. It's not letting me. There we go.
Whoa.
Hold on, Angel. All right.
I did it.
This is one of those things I'm having to look at, and I can't share my window because I have to give permissions. So this is one of those things with a new computer. It's not letting me share my window, so I'm gonna have to share my screen. And this is one of those weird where I should have done a test stream. So I am going to have to restart my stream, or restart my Chrome. So I will be back in a minute. So excuse me, host has to leave for a second, restart Chrome, because otherwise I cannot share my screen with you guys for some unknown reason. I will be back in a hot minute. Thank you for your cooperation and understanding that with a new computer, first stream, settings are weird.
It's about that.
There we go. I am back. Let's try this one more time and see if it'll let me share my screen now. There we go. Hey, look. It actually let me share my screen. It's one of those things that you don't realize that you have to do until you can't do it. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's a setting that I changed a year and a half ago that I did not realize that needed to be changed. say, you know, no, this is not a technical difficulty. This is just you got a new computer. Your settings on Chrome are different, and I didn't realize that was a setting that had to be in my computer's permissions, because I changed it, April of 2024. My brain can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, let alone a setting I changed on my computer in April of 2024. So here we are. But everything else is good. And Kasha, thank you for the $2 super chat. Baby Squid Banana Fund. You got a banana fund. Yeah, which is nice because I actually have a Walmart order to pick up this afternoon. So, oh, round 4 starts Wednesday. Lots of driving coming up for you. I hope she does all right. I hope she continues to feel as good as possible with everything, all things considering. And to Floofy Cat, member for 1 month. Happy time zone, folks. Oh, yes, and this is early even on the East Coast, so I apologize for my Central, Mountain, and Pacific time zone people. You're good. No, it's not. Thank you for calling me a boomer, but it is it's one of those things of like it's a Chrome setting in my computer settings that I had to change. It is what it is. All right. This is the order from the judge. We'll just read through it really quick. Defendant Lee moved to file an amended motion to dismiss, and it attached a copy of the proposed amended motion to dismiss. Plaintiffs oppose the motion. This court has inherent authority to manage its own docket to achieve the orderly and expeditious disposition of cases. Equity Lifestyle Props Inc. v. Florida Mowing and Landscaping Services, 11th Circuit, 2009. Under that authority and in the exercise of the court's discretion, the court will grant Defendant Lee's motion. I think that this judge is doing everything he can to make this appeal proof, because we all know that every single one of these people is going to appeal any decision and try to get the judge removed. And you saw it in federal 1, where Bruce already tried to get the judge removed and it didn't work. But knowing that Bruce is now a defendant in this case and that he talks to all these people, my thought process with the judge is that he thinks and he knows that all the rest of these defendants are probably just like Bruce in they will do anything they can on technicalities and this and that. So every time that he doesn't give them time to do something, they're going to use that against him, even though any reasonable judge would be like, nah. He is trying to make it 100% appeal proof and not take any chances with the crazy. Angel, you only need one mouse. Neither one of them well, I'm not going to say that part. That one's not plugged in and that one's not turned on. We're having mouse fight. No. Right here. I'm getting pushed out of my desk. She is literally half of my desk. This desk is not big enough for both of us. She's doing great according to her oncologist. She's almost back to her normal self, so things are looking good so far. Knock on wood that they keep going like that. Hey, Sir Frank, blah, blah, blah. It's too early. Accordingly, it's ordered that Defendant Lee's motion for leave to file an amended motion to dismiss is granted. The clerk of court shall separately docket Exhibit C, document 87-2, to Defendant Lee's motion for leave, and caption it on the docket as Defendant Lee's amended motion to dismiss. The clerk of court is directed to terminate Defendant Lee's initial motion to dismiss. Plaintiff's response to Defendant Lee's amended motion to dismiss is due within 14 days of this order. So September 3rd, roughly, just doing math. So we'll see. All right, that girl, I cannot scoot over. There is a wall here. I cannot scoot over any more than I am. Oh, there's literally two 2 keyboards, 3 mice. I can't. There's no room for anything on this computer or on this desk right now. Good morning. The problem is by bending over backwards for the anti side, he's creating a situation where the Hales side could appeal for the appearance of bias. I don't think he has a problem with that though. I just have this feeling that he does not have as big of a problem with that as he does with the other side, because I think even though everybody knows that I've had my issues with some of the filings that Randy has said and some of the I keep it professional, blah de blah, and that right there. It's one of those things, but they've given Randy, and every time Randy's asked for more time, they've given it to him as well. So, Angel. So he's in this case, he hasn't really done much different as far as the time. It's just with all these defendants, and that's what makes a case with all these defendants really hard, is you have one right after the other, and they can plan to, when one gets extra time, then the next one files and they get extra time, and they can drag it out. That's also the downside of having all these defendants. Hi, baby. You want to come up here?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Hi.
Oh, beautiful. Are we going to be quiet? No, we never quiet. All right. So here is this one. And I know it's early on a Friday morning, but please hit that like button. And if you're hate watching, hit the dislike button, because y'all know you hate watch, but if you watch everything I do, no, that Sharon, we've talked about this. That is not one, you can't sanction somebody on a case that stayed. So there's by default an extra 2 months because he stayed it the first time and then he stayed it the second time. So you can't sanction somebody on a case that's stayed, for one. Secondly, Bruce has complicated things. Monetary sanctions are easy. I've said this 1,000 times and I will continue to preach it. Monetary sanctions are easy. Monetary sanctions are like a speeding ticket. You pay your $1,000 fine, you're good. Like you pay, I want this much per document. You have 2 documents, $4,000, you're fine. We're good. Everything's good. When you screwed up like Bruce has, especially when you're pro hoc vice from another state, you're now dealing with 2 separate states. So Randy, if anything with his sanctions, and if it needed to be reported to the bar, which it didn't, if it needed to be reported to the bar, it's only the Florida bar. It's simple as far as the law goes. With Bruce, there was Connecticut, Massachusetts, Florida. He didn't show up. He's hiding. He's also a party in a separate case with the same plaintiff. And the same judge. It's very complicated, and that's why it went to the judge above him. So it's not as simple as everybody wants to make it out to be. I understand it's been a shit ton of time, but also you can't sanction somebody in a case that's on a stay. It was stayed for the bankruptcy, and it was also stayed for 2 months prior to that because of the whole situation itself. So it's yes, and this right here, Blytho is not even the judge. And remember, this ain't the only case on their docket. Like these judges are busy all day, every day with more than just this case. So Sharon, I know sometimes we agree to disagree, but this time, I wish people. Angel, stop kicking my mic. You're gonna get down if you kick my mic. No. Yes. This time it's This time it's Angel. You're going to have to get down. You're not going to kick my computer. No. You're not going to kick my computer. You don't kick. No, you're not kicking my desk. You kick my desk, you're getting down. It's a simple boundary. And I know you love to push those right now, but it's a simple boundary. No kicking mommy's computer. Grandpa just bought mommy a new computer for her birthday. You are not kicking it. Because you don't have a job, so you can't afford to pay for it. So it's a why don't they try them separately just to keep it going? They technically are being tried well, they can't because Jeremy filed it together. If you're talking about the number of defendants, Jeremy filed it together. The judge can't say we're going to try these as separate cases. So there's one issue. And secondly, the second case was originally with a different judge. It got moved to Judge Belitho for ease of what would normally be ease of process because two similar cases, same defendant, same plaintiff, being by the same judge. So normally it would be ease of process when you have people that are civil. The judge who has the sanctions has to consult with Connecticut, Massachusetts, Florida Bar Association. Also, it technically is, but there has been nothing put in the docket yet. And technically the stay is not over until the judge puts it in the docket. The judge also has to get that information. He has to be told that information for one. And nobody has put anything in any docket that says her bankruptcy was denied or closed. So according to what the judge sees in the docket, the bankruptcy is not closed because no one has put in any document that I don't know exactly what all needs to be done with that, but my assumption would be that something needs to be put in the docket as far as a note, hey, take judicial notice that this bankruptcy case has been dismissed. Nobody's done that. So the judge, being a busy man, only sees what's in the docket, can't do outside research, will not see that judge. Yeah, the judge order told Randy to file on a date, but also that's to update him if it was continued. So the judge's order in the Fed 1 for the bankruptcy was every so many days file an order to update me. But also that doesn't mean don't file an order until this date if it's dismissed. So there's that. Today is the day she has to refile to continue. So there's a lot going on that the average person, and I just have seen this just from covering so many cases and reading so many documents. It's not like the judge gets an email saying, oh, the bankruptcy is dismissed. That's not how this shit works. If it's not in the docket or it's not met the deadlines that the judge says, hey, file this date and give me an update, the judge doesn't know. So everybody's like, it's over. It's dismissed. It's this. If we can get on. Yeah, somebody's got to tell the damn judge. To this date, nobody has told the damn judge. I looked at the docket this morning. Not one mofo has told the damn judge. So, it's, oh yes. And Terry, I am following a case, and I will actually, before we get into that, I will show you how muddy this is compared to things that should on their face be way more complicated. So I am going to show you a case from 2016. So, oh yes, and he does. it would just be like to the people who I've constantly, and it's like, guys, I've said from the beginning, if you watched my channel at all, I've said, if the judge, part of the reason that I'm only looking at what's in the docket is so that I can tell you what the judge sees or what the judge knows, and that I'm not confusing myself with things that are happening outside the court and things that are happening in. As far as the judge goes, he don't know shit unless it's told to him. Like, it's it's just one of those, like, he can't. Yeah, and then I'll criticize the judge if it was more time, because it's like, clearly you've had enough time. So if he does give her more time, that will be my criticism of him. And I'm not afraid to criticize the judge. If you've freaking watched any trial I've covered, I'm not afraid to criticize the judge. However, this is, Randy has 60 days to give progress. I think it's 60 days. So maybe they're waiting to see if she refiles. That could be true too. But it's like the people who are like, oh, the judge stopped the stay, the bankruptcy's over, the stay's over. Until the judge is, yeah. According to the documents, not so. So this is a case that I'm following from 2016. So this was Brigida versus U.S. Department of Transportation. This is the FAA air traffic control lawsuit, filed 12/30/2015. Okay. Think about how many documents the case has, the Fed 1 case has. I think we're up to like 199 or 200 or something like that. We're up to some ungodly number. But this was filed, and it's hard to see, and I can't make it bigger, so I apologize. 12/30/2015. This has 220 documents, and the last one was filed July 31st of 2025. So in 10 years, this only has 220 documents. 10 years. We're a year and a half into that case, and we almost have 200. That is one of the reasons that the judge is so pissed off with all of this. Because, like, you get about, in 2023, we had a lot. 2022, we had a lot. 2021, we had a lot. But, like, it literally, it's only like 10 to 15 documents a year. It's not really that many. This is 10 years old. 9.5 years old. Yeah. Flea is so stupid. She opened the door for Randy to bring in Lips BS. Was there? And people are making so many. Yeah, and by now it's like, I understand making it appeal proof, but there's also allowing people to delay. Like, and half of these documents are notice of appearance and notices of withdrawals, because with the Department of Transportation, every time you change administrations, you change lawyers. So think how many administrations we've been through since 2015. So a lot of these are like motion to appear, notice of withdrawal. It's so insane. It's like, you can't, these people are filing so many stupid documents. And this has like, I think 8 or 9 plaintiffs at this point. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to take bets on it, because it's quite a lot. It's a lot. But then part of me is like, you're not going to remember what a stream you did on August 22nd of 2025 by the time this is over in 2027. I will take bets that this will not be over until 2027. So, Terry, we know you're not an idiot. You're not. So we know, and phones are hard, and also when you're trying to type super fast, because you want your comment out there, and you want to give your opinion as quickly as possible. Nobody here thinks you're an idiot. So, and if anybody does, screw them. That's all I got to say about that one. All right. This was posted, like I said, as Exhibit C in Document 87. It's refiled as Document 106. Defendant Lee's amended motion to dismiss and the alternative motion for more definite statement. And I think the only reason she added this more definite statement is MLS's lawyer asked for a more definite statement in regards to him and his specific situation, which was appropriate. So like it's I think we did a breakdown where I went through the docket and we were like writing down or tick marks of like, this is 1 for Randy, 2 for Bubbles, 2 for Randy, 2 for Bubbles. Like, and we kind of, comes now defendant Lisa Lee respectfully submits her amended motion to dismiss second amended complaint and in the alternative motion for more definite statement. Pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12b-6, addressing the second amended complaint, Document 76, and states as follows. Plaintiff Hales' revenue and profit loss. Plaintiff alleged revenue sources are not based on loss of profit from any product or service, but rather advertising revenue based on view counts for his public viewed or paid subscription to View's private life videos. And okay, with not even reading her response, advertising revenue is still revenue. And you don't have to have, it's still revenue. Like if I make $1 off of revenue on this service, or like say I make $5 in ad revenue this stream, just round numbers, it's pretty stupid, but I probably won't make $5, but it's whatever. And say someone goes and talks shit about me that I'm this awful person, and my view counts go and my subscriber count goes down by like 30 or 40, like what somebody did back in March. And I all of a sudden go down to like $2 per video. $3 might not seem a lot, but when you're putting out as many videos and you have as many subscribers as Jeremy, that is a significant amount of money. So she claims a revenue loss, but it's just ad revenue. Ad revenue is still revenue. And when you can cite and show your YouTube analytics that say you've gotten this, ad revenue over months and years, and now ever since they started talking their crap and posting signs and doing whatever they did, now you're getting 20% less in ad revenue. I'm sorry, for 20% for me, it ain't a whole lot because I don't make that much. But 20% for someone like Jeremy is a lot of money. And like, you just can't go, well, it's only ad revenue. That's not the point. It's not the point. Like, Hales, known for his channel What the Hales, with over 730,000 subscribers, primarily earns revenue through YouTube Partner Program. Hales' first source of revenue comes from advertisers based on how many people view his public videos. You literally talk about stupid. And I'm sorry, this is going to take a while because I have opinions. Talk about stupid. If you're going to say ad revenue and you're going to try to fight and, fight against that, the fact that he's taking ad revenue or his money, don't say Hales' first source of revenue comes from advertisers. You're just fighting against what would be your only source of a valid argument. Oh, yeah. And speaking of Georgia lawyers, if anybody knows a Georgia lawyer that wants to sue a school board, let me know. Because I would be Someone said you're mean and not a nice person. Yeah. People said a lot of shit about me, but you can see how much I care. But technically, those people that were talking shit about me and affecting my ad revenue, that's the same shit Jeremy is suing for, by the way. That's why I don't ever talk shit about other YouTube channels. You don't ever talk shit about anybody who is making money on YouTube, because technically, if I'm like, oh, I hate this person, go unsubscribe to them, I am affecting their income. And by me affecting their income, that's what Jeremy is suing for, by the way. So if you want to make yourself sue-proof, and that's a good question. How the hell does Flea know how much and where he has lost money from? Yeah, good point. Influencers like Hales profit from ad revenue generated when ads are shown before, during, or after their videos. The amount of money earned depends on number of views of his free-to-watch public videos and the level of engagement, since advertisers pay YouTube to place ads on popular content. YouTube then takes a portion of this revenue, typically around 45%. I'm curious as to where she got these exact numbers from, because in my analytics, it doesn't tell you how much of what an advertiser pays. So I'm curious where she got these numbers from. And pays the remaining share to the creator through AdSense. In addition to standard ad formats such as display ads, overlay ads, and skippable or non-skippable video ads, Hales earns a share of subscription fees that his audience pays by choice to watch his private life, not open for public viewing, and closed to only allowing his YouTube Premium members who pay to watch this private life content. Thus, Hales does not allege losing revenue from an actual product or service as defined under Florida Statute 672.012.102. Oh my goodness, my dyslexia this morning. Leading to profit loss. Let's do some research. Florida statute. And this is what, like 762.102. Well, 672. Oh my goodness. My dyslexia is on fire this morning. Why am I so dyslexic today? Hey, Heidi. Florida Senate. I'm looking up. Oh, come on. Uniform Commercial Code sales. I don't think that is exactly the statute that she should be citing. I mean, just I don't think that's because Chapter 672 is Uniform Commercial Code sales. 672.102, certain security and other transactions excluded from this chapter. Unless the context otherwise requires, this chapter applies to transaction in goods. It does not apply to any transaction which, although in the form of unconditional contract to sell or present sale, is intended to operate as a security transaction, nor does this chapter impair or repeal any statute regulating sales to consumers, farmers, or other specified class of buyers. I mean, his videos could be viewed as a His videos could be viewed as a product for public consumption. So, like, the statute that she's citing here, I don't buy it. And be it, I'm not a lawyer, didn't make these laws. Yeah, he's actually lost viewers, which is lost revenue. And this is also where the law and like online content need to start catching up to each other. So, yeah. Can Randy ask for an in-person in front of the judge regarding this motion? He can. I mean, technically, you can ask for a judge for any. Like, you can ask for an in-person meeting with the judge, like a hearing for anything, whether you'll get it or not. Beside, that's another subject. But as far as asking, technically, you can ask the judge for anything. You just have to deal with the consequences of what you're asking for. Hi. Why are we growling this morning? Why are we growling? Ma'am. Hey. Why are we gruffy? Come here. Come here. Usually this is the time of day when you want nothing to do with me. So why are we all in Mama's stuff today? I wondered how Flea got 3,000 subs overnight one day. I guess it was Gator Boy's subs moving over. I don't know. People have criticized that my channel's growing slow. It's like, well, I don't want to be shouted out by anybody because I want to earn my subs based on my content, not anybody telling someone, because a lot of the time those subscribers don't stick around because they're not there for you. They're there because somebody else told them to go. His profit loss is alleged to come from loss in his public video views, generating revenue from advertisers for loss of his subscriptions paid by his audience for entertainment to view his private life. To qualify for the YouTube Partner Program, creators must meet specific criteria: at least 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 public watch hours in the past year, reside in an eligible country, have a link. This is not. I mean, I can see educating the judge on what the YouTube Partner Program is, but this has nothing to do with Jeremy's ad revenue. Have a linked AdSense account and comply with YouTube's monetization policies. Once accepted, a creator's earnings are directly tied to the sustained popularity of their videos. As long as their video remains stable or grows, the woman and Terry, I don't like with your spelling errors. You're on a phone typing quickly, so your spelling errors I could care less about, and I don't judge you for. However, if you're going to file a document in federal court, your spelling error and grammatical errors might want to be corrected. One, because you're in federal court, and two, because you're on a computer and generally have spell check and or Grammarly. Go get it. Go get it, beautiful. Yeah. Here, baby. Yeah, you went your angel. Up, down, up, down, up, down. So, oh. Hello.
Hello.
Uncle Spawn is in the chat. All right. Well, we're making a big old mess of Mommy's nice, refurbished, clean desk. Their profits from advertising revenue will not decrease. Only a substantial drop in viewership would lead to a meaningful reduction in their earnings from the program. And I'm sure Jeremy can prove that. Well, considering your Madeline, considering your English is not your first language, I would give you some grace. And the fact that you don't even live in this country, I would give you some grace. Footnote 1. Oh, can't wait to read that footnote. To keep a high and increasing view count and to entertain and entice the public to watch his videos and subscribe to his private closed videos for entertainment. He puts this like she doesn't have members and members only content. And I'm so, Hales has made a practice of instigating public disputes, recording selectively edited encounters, and then casting himself as the perennial victim before a large devoted audience or online audience, where he then conveys to his audience that he must file a lawsuit against others while requesting his audience to make donations to his legal fees. I have never heard, and be it I don't watch every video that he comes out with. I only watch if they come across my like For You page, so to speak. But I have never once heard Jeremy actually make donations for my legal fees. I've heard him say that it's expensive. I've never heard him specifically ask. I've never heard him specifically ask for donations. And like everybody knows that like I will criticize anybody if I think what they're doing is wrong, but I've never heard him do that. So that's a lie. And he must file. No, he must. He never says he must file lawsuits. I've never heard him. Yeah. And somebody did inform me that he does have a Give, Send, Go or GoFundMe, but it was started by either a mod or a viewer, not by him. Examples of using the legal process as a backdrop for generating attention and financial support. Yeah, and like 8 million migraines. I'm just a thought process because I'm getting a migraine like reading all this crap. I can't imagine what it's like to be him on a daily basis. And yeah, he does comment on the amount he's paying because he's transparent. Example of Hales publicly requesting donations for his legal fees. Example of, okay, so if you were the judge and you looked at this, just look at the phrasing and look at the grammar. Let's help Jeremy and George Hales with legal fees. Like, all funds go to Hales' legal issue in 2023. Jeremy filed and received a protection order in Ohio court covering them in all 50 states. That sounds like a third person. And I'm sorry, but sometimes over the top as I think Jeremy can be, I don't ever remember him referring to himself in third person because that's creepy. People who refer to themselves in third person creep me out. And I would definitely have unsubscribed if I ever heard him talk about himself in third person. I would have unsubscribed a long time ago. Like, that's creepy to me. So I've never heard him talk about himself in third person. Yeah, it's like, so this sounds like it's the third person. So it's not. This is where grammar matters. Hey, would you like a pad? You want this? Okay, come here, baby. Girl, you got to sit in your own chair because you're sliding off my lap and it's not working well. Here, baby. Here. Okay. There you go. You and oh, Squid Pro bullies me all the time. Well, yeah, that's because you tell me to. You know, that's because I interrupt you. It's because I just do that all the time. He certainly doesn't ask for money like Lynette does. She asks almost all. Yeah. Angel. Cherries. Okay. Here, you try to get them off there. You know how. All right, and then the footnotes for the YouTube Partner Program and monetized YouTube Partner Program, YouTube Help. August 15th. Look, okay. And I don't know who this person is, so I'm sorry if this person watches my channel. And yeah. A strawberry? Yeah. Does it smell? Hey, JK Films said GoFundMe was created and run by Debbie Vaughn. Jeremy was reluctant at first. Yeah, that makes sense. But here, August 15th, and I'm sorry if this person has ever watched me and I don't know who you are. I apologize. August 15th, 2024, Debbie Vaughn. Hello, friends. So Debbie Vaughn, Jeremy Hales, two different names. Sounds like two different genders. Just a thought. Not to assume anybody's gender. It's 2025, you know. But sorry, I couldn't say that with a straight face. Here's a quick update to announce that you all have helped raise over $35,000 to reimburse Jeremy and George's legal fees so they continue helping those in need and supporting causes dear to them. Okay. Thank you for all the amazing teamwork. In addition, some have donated directly to What the Hales and others have sent contributions to Shock It Law Group. There's a long way to go as Hales' legal bills already exceeded. She's sorry, Fleesa, if you see this, you're dumb. You're dumb, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm not a lawyer, so this is not legal advice, and nobody contact her. I might have to play my disclaimer. However, third person, he says, examples of Hales publicly requesting donations for his legal fees. That is not him requesting shit. So you lied. Either that or you're just stupid, and I'm really not sure which one at this point because I don't think you're a very smart person, but this is stupid because if I can point out tense and past tense, third person, you said this is an example of Jeremy Hales publicly requesting donations for his legal fees. That is not Jeremy Hales. Yeah, it's for his legal fees, but that is not Jeremy Hales. And I'm sorry, but you can't control what other people want to do for you. Like, certain people have super chatted me and sent me stuff, and I am forever grateful. I don't ask them to do stuff. They do that because they are good people. I don't yeah, I put the information out there, but like, I don't go, hey, super chat me. You can only watch if you super chat me. Like, that's not, or you can only watch if you contribute to my, my GoFundMe or my this or my that. Look, no, it's like, here's my stuff. If you want to contribute, thank you. But this is not Jeremy Hales, so you lied. You either lied or you're stupid, and I'm really, really, really not sure which one. Like, oh, I would love to talk to you about that. This is something I knew nothing about. Like, I did not know Jeremy had, and this is how much I did not know. I did not know Jeremy had a GoFundMe that was started by anybody, let alone him. I was using it as like he might have one. I don't know. I've never heard him talk about it. And that's when the chat informed me that, yes, someone started one for him. And hugs Debbie Vaughn. Like, Debbie, Jeremy, I mean, those sound like two different people to me. It's not the Leslie situation where she has like 8 million names and Lynette has 8 million names and all of that. Like, oh my goodness. Hey, Alan, Jeremy will have paid something in the region of $2 million. A lot of the legal fees and continued caused by the ecosystem delays. There's no way will he ever be able to recoup any of this. I can see that. Hales creates thumbnails, which he alters pictures of those he targets for content brands, them with character names, and writes inattention, grabbing titles such as Bad Neighbor in Court, We Won in Court, We Won Big Again. You want emotion. Like, you want emotion. And that technically is a win. It's a battle, not the war, so to speak. And you don't win every battle to win the war. Among other voluminous thumbnails. And I'm sorry, but what creator hasn't tried to introduce some clickbait every once in a while? Even Law and Crime does clickbait in their thumbnails, because I was watching stuff on yesterday. I was watching an interview with one of the cases I'm following, her grandfather, and Law and Crime's thumbnail was like, bombshell new evidence released. And it was like, no, that was not bombshell. The only thing that was bombshell was how clickbaity this title was. So, like, everyone changes pictures to represent their topic. I've changed Jeremy's pictures. Have you not seen one of the pictures that I've used of Jeremy in one of my thumbnails from way back in the day? I put a halo on him. Like yeah. So yeah, and that's true too. So far, this has nothing to do with her. It's all about the other people. Yeah, and we win again is about storage unit fines, not her. Bad neighbor called the judge a foul name in court, and he did. I heard it. The defendants in this case are not malicious conspirators. You're supposed to. This is where I think she thinks she's a lawyer and she thinks she's acting as a lawyer for them, for other people. The defendants in this case are not malicious conspirators. You're supposed to be, I am not a malicious conspirator. You're only supposed to be defending yourself. You're not a lawyer representing other people. Woohoo! I need that sound bite. They are not market competitors. And technically speaking, and I say this with a grain of salt because I will never tear down another YouTuber except for her because she talked about my child choking. Technically speaking, anybody who is on YouTube is by definition a competitor. Two people stream at the same time. Like there's multiple live streams going on right now. Technically, if someone only has, say, $20 a month that they super chat their favorite creators, you want to be that favorite creator. You do. Not gonna lie. You want to be that favorite creator. Even though it's a friendly competition, it's still by definition and business terminology, market competition. Yeah, both have channels and both sell merch. Yeah. Just because it's a friendly competition between like 99.9% of people, it's still by business terminology. And this is where business terminology and like legal terminology and like an everyday definition is different, because business terminology, market competition, you might have two stores that both sell ice cream. They might be friends. The owners might be friends. But at the end of the day, when it comes to business and making money, they are a competition. It is what it is. Uh-oh, are you okay? Yeah. Okay. Like, it's just what it is. Yeah, take a look at Court TV and Long Crime. Right there. Two people, both, although they stream different trials, and sometimes they don't stream the same trial. One trial will be on Law and Crime. The next one I watch will be on Court TV. It's all different, but they are technically competing for that same trial watching definitions. And that's why they only choose the trials that are going to get them viewers. Because they only choose trials that are going to get them viewers, and by viewers, they make ad revenue. There's a lot of people's thumbnails that don't look like them at all. And obviously AI, when you do AI pictures and stuff, like it obviously, like it can't go 5'3", 170 pounds. Like, it can't take into account measurements. So a lot of the times, like, you're not going to get an AI picture that represents you. And that's where it's like, you got to just be close. Yeah. But like this right here, Chris, I brought your comment up before, but I'm do it again. Both have channels and both sell merch. Therefore, technically competition with each other. It's friendly competition. Nobody generally has hard feelings and wants to sue over it. But you know, thumbnails are used to bring people into your stream. Oh, it can, but they want supermodel looks. No, not. Yeah, that's true. Because I know some people who have thumbnails and like backgrounds and stuff in different streams, and I'm like, I've seen your picture. That does not look like you. You never go on camera, but I sure shit know that does not look like you. Yeah, the ecosystem continues to defame Jeremy daily, which affects any business entity displaying his name. that defamation affects those revenues. It creates tortious interference on its own. It could. And like I said, not a lawyer, so I'm not going to speak like I know everything about defamation, but I do have a video that I cut from a judge in Florida who was doing the CNN Zachary Young versus CNN defamation trial, and he literally told the jury the definition of defamation, and he was like, just because it's something you don't like does not make it defamation. So, sounds like she is jealous because Jeremy and George are better at thumbnails and attracting viewers. And also the fact that I could be wrong, but Jeremy and George don't just talk about the lawsuits. Yeah, they do talk about it a lot. But Jeremy and George make other content. And some people only make content about Jeremy and about the situation. Like, yes, I did this update this morning, but I have not done a Hales stream in, I think, since Monday. I'm going to look at my YouTube studio just to be sure I'm giving you accurate information, because I don't actually remember. My last 3 streams have been NTSB hearing day 2, Bad Moms Club, and TikTok teen double murder hearing. Those have been my last 3 streams. Have they gotten as many views as a What the Hell stream? No. But I do other things because I don't like to talk about one topic all the time because I would get bored. You're doing okay. My last What the Hell stream was 3 days ago. What's up, Angel? Your water is right there. I'm not going to get it for you. You have legs. And good morning. So I think people also get jealous of the fact that Jeremy has content beyond talking about them. And they try to make it like Jeremy's content is all about them. They always try to make it like Jeremy's content is all about them, and it's like, no, it's not. It's not. It's not. Storage unit stuff is just not my cup of tea. I used to watch Rob Turkla a lot when he was doing like hunting and fishing videos and stuff like that, and then he got into buying storage units and like selling stuff on eBay and all that, and that's just not my cup of tea, and I haven't watched his channel in like a year. And it's nothing against him. That's just not my cup of tea. That's why there is thousands and thousands of YouTube channels. It's because everybody has different tastes. Like, it's, but she's talking about other people. Like, the defendants are independent online commentators. Why are you talking about everybody? You're supposed to be talking about yourself. Yeah. All their content is about Jeremy. Who are they? Stalkers? Or stalkers, as Lynette put it. Stalkers. Is that the person that follows me home from the grocery store and puts my groceries away? I mean, if that's a stalker, I want one of those. Good morning. Yeah, Jeremy's gone back to his original content, buying storage units. He talks about the court cases, but they are not like the end all be all. And that's where I'm like, thank you for proving that you're full of crap, because you say he does this only for content, but then like 1 out of every 5 or 6 videos is anything to do with the court case. He's doing this for it sounds like he has plenty of other content without your drama in it. Just a thought. Many channels will die when these cases are over. Maybe not. Most people stream what they love and know best. It's obvious that all they know is hate with a smattering of virtue signaling. Good point. Yeah. It just seems like the people who always try to tell you that they're the best people on the planet are the ones that are the projection is real. And then when you call them out, they play the victim. because it's like, you're being mean to me. No, I'm just calling out your behavior. Like, and whenever someone calls out her behavior, she plays this like off, like, you're picking on me. Yeah. Directed by Hales. Since when I have never heard Mr. Hales ask me to go after anyone. What if what I have is eyes and a brain, including common sense? So I will discuss these clowns. Yeah. Exactly. And I have content that I haven't even got to yet because I'm overwhelmed. Yesterday was a bad day. Yesterday was an overwhelming day. I almost didn't want to put my computer back together yesterday because I'm like, I just don't want to do this. I'm just going to take a vacation. But then I'm like, I really want to talk about this. And if I'm going to read through all of this, I want to read through it with you guys, because reading through it by myself, all I'll do is get frustrated and talk about it by myself. Like, those who have reported that they do not support Hales' action have been named in this lawsuit. Ma'am, I'm gonna say this. Bless your enlarged heart. I have not supported everything that Jeremy has done. And I have literally said that I have not supported every action that Jeremy has done. I didn't think that this one was appropriate, or I thought this motion was stupid, or like I would have just moved on if I were him. I've never been named in these lawsuits. Oh, wait, because I don't take time and effort to just drag somebody's name through the mud because I don't like them as a person. That's not what this is. Like, hey, Rickles. Like, I have never been named in a lawsuit by anybody, actually. I'm hopefully going to be a plaintiff in a lawsuit soon, but that's, yeah. Also, did you know you can get banned on Twitch for calling another streamer fat? I never use Twitch, so I don't know. The only time I've ever gone to Twitch is to see that Cat McKern had 100K followers. That's the only time I've ever gone to Twitch. That's the first and the last time. Additionally, anyone who has questioned or criticized Hales' actions to gain content and attorneys seeking to represent anyone against Hales have become subject to lawsuits and online harassment campaigns directed by Hales and broadcasted to over 730,000 members of the public who subscribe to Hales. A recent lawsuit, I would not be bringing this up because this doesn't have anything to do with you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the commissioner responsible for Muppetry named me in the lawsuit. And my daughter. Sorry, that was funny. Twitch is a streaming platform mostly for gamers. Oh no, I've been influenced to support someone who has been stalked and harassed. A recent lawsuit out of Orange County, Florida demonstrates this pattern. When a retired attorney and mother of four merely gave an interview to someone critical of Hales, she became the target of a coordinated harassment campaign by Hales and his followers. Here's the thing. Jeremy does not have control. The part of living in a semi-free country is Jeremy does not have any authority to tell his followers. He is not a cult most days. Sometimes I wonder, but sometimes I wonder about a lot of people. However, like, Jeremy does not have, especially, he does not know each and every one of those 730,000 subscribers individually. He does not know what they look like, doesn't know where they live, doesn't know how much money they make, doesn't know if they're black, white, yellow, green, purple, red, whatever, does not know if they are gay, straight, does not know anything about them. And yet he's supposed to control their behavior. Make it make sense. And part of this is that this law or this whole situation that is fascinating is this is like a microcosm of the world right now, that certain people in the world are supposed to, if someone does something in a small town in like North Dakota, that represents like someone who lives 5 states away, and just they have a t-shirt that says this person's name on it, so all of a sudden they're, like the whole Demolition Ranch thing. One of the mass unalivers had a Demolition Ranch t-shirt, and like Demolition Ranch became the target of like, well, he supported you. Demolition Ranch has a couple million subscribers on his now obsolete YouTube channel, but like he can't control who buys his merch. Like, the thought process here, like, this is it's all about show the judge everything. It's all of, but here by her bringing this up, and I see the point. However, it's all about, with her bringing this up, it brings Randy the ability to dispute a lot of this stuff. Whereas, like, if it's not brought in by her, Randy would never mention it. Wait, I thought I joined a cult back in 2019. Yeah, Yeah. Channel content was built around her, branding her with the character name Lips. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, but like, if you're gonna give, sorry, while making false and misleading statements about her choice to retire her license to practice law. This one, she did it out of a loophole, and I will continue to say that because she gave her license up before the Florida bar ruled, or the Florida Supreme Court ruled on that case. So we don't know. We can assume, but we never assume, because that makes an ass out of you and me, obviously. So we can speculate as to what the punishment might be, but we don't know because it was never done. Nothing was ever put in writing. And we can speculate, but that's all it is speculation. So to make false and misleading she was using a loophole. I see the loophole she was using. It's kind of that technicality. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying I understand the I understand the loophole that Leslie was using. Like I said, this is one of those things of like separating yourself from the emotion. I don't agree with, I think it's stupid to just try to sue somebody for that. However, I see the legal loophole that she was using. So, yeah, Randy can now bring up Lips' past law practice thanks to Fleesa. Yep. And the fact that Leslie's husband put in a notice of letting the judge know that there was that Orange County case going on. So it's like he did it too. Unknowingly, he did it too. So yeah, if you do not want to be called Lips, don't go by Legally Lips or Hot Lips. And, like, sometimes if the judge doesn't know about stuff, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And it's been proven that sometimes when you don't let the judge know certain things, you tend to get away with more because the judge doesn't know. But now you're giving Randy the ability to tell the judge everything. And it's like, yeah, she opened the door for Randy. It was irrelevant, but not anymore. Thank you, Terry. So perfectly said, in my opinion. Like, I just... When she responded with satirical content exposing the truth of what was happening to her, Hales spun the story, presenting himself as the aggrieved victim and again mobilizing his audience against her. He doesn't mobilize anybody. Like, I'm sorry, Jeremy, if you ever watch this, I like you. I think your content for what it is, it's not my style of content that I like to watch. I'm a sports kind of person or a fishing and hunting kind of person, but it's as far as the range of like storage units, it's a lot better than the TV show Storage Wars. However, that being said, Jeremy, take this one with a laugh because it's not meant to be mean, but like you don't have the power to mobilize 730,000 people against one person. I like you. You seem like a decent guy, but like you don't have the power. You don't have the power to you don't have the power to mobilize your audience against anybody because these are people who are like you don't know these people. It's a little different if it's like you're in a room full of people and you've like gotten to know them and you know what their weaknesses are and how they're persuaded, and then you can like persuade people to do what you want. That's why cults are really never online. That's why you have to be in person and they don't let you do your own research like Scientology. But like it it's like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And hey, Star. Sometimes I'm like, do you do that? Are you that? Sometimes I've asked this question multiple times over this case and a few times on the internet lately. I was like, are you always this stupid or are you doing this just for attention? Because this is dumb. I think this is one of the stupidest things that I've ever read. And remember, guys, I read all of Bubbles' crap. At least Bubbles' motions were like confined to like a topic. Like it would have been stupid, but it's not all over the place. This is all over the place, which is causing me to be all over the place. So I apologize. Like, ugh. I'll fly across the planet and harass Flea because Jeremy said he doesn't like her. Yay. Exactly. It sounds like it really sounds like a lawyer wrote it in the sense of a lawyer that was representing multiple people. So like if Bubbles was representing 4 or 5 defendants, this is the phrasing I would use or I would expect to see because you're grouping everybody together. But when you're a pro se defendant, the only person you're defending is yourself. So the only person that you need to be defending and mentioning, the only person who you need to be mentioning as far as the defendant is yourself. You don't need to be mentioning everybody. Oh. New federal agency. We have the Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Homeland Security. Now we have the Secretary of Internet Bullying. Harass or pursue, untie. Did you mean unite or untie? Because both of them are funny, just in different ways. It's just this litigation before the court is no different. Hales has weaponized the court system, turning legal filings into fodder for his videos. More like you've turned your legal filings into fodder for my videos. So thank you. Sorry. Because I wouldn't be talking about any of this shit if it was one motion every like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month. I'd be giving a monthly update. I wouldn't be giving a multiple times a week updates on court documents that have dropped because stupid court documents wouldn't be dropping every 3 or 4 days. Like, also another thing in this motion length is wrong. It has too many pages. I don't know if it has too many pages. I don't know what the I don't know what the or don't remember what the limit is for this judge. And Oh, I do like the coin pusher videos. Coin pusher videos are my favorite things because coin pusher, when we go to when we went on vacation, it was mostly Mr. Squid and Baby Squid's time to spend time together doing daddy daughter stuff, and I was by the coin pusher. That's my you couldn't write this for a Hollywood script and make it believable. Yeah, right? Like, I just hope if this does become a script, it's like a Netflix documentary and not a Lifetime movie. So, all right. This is not, all while soliciting and receiving tens of thousands of dollars in donations for legal fees under the guise of defending himself as a victim from attacks. It would be one thing if he took like $20,000 under like a Gibson to go for legal fees and his legal fees were only like $3,000. That would be something completely different and I could see her point if that was the case. But when you have a GoFundMe and say it has $30,000 in it and your legal fees are like $100,000, I know those aren't the right numbers. I just use random shit I just use random numbers. You're not making any money. So the fact that they're trying to do this like he's making money on YouTube, and it's like, no, if you take into account all that I'm spending on legal fees, I'm actually losing money. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Like, this is not the conduct of a wronged individual seeking justice. It's the calculated strategy of a digital provocateur exploiting the legal system for views, influence, and profit. For these reasons, the court should view Hales' claim with skepticism warranted when the legal process is conscripted as a stage prop for online entertainment rather than a forum for the resolution of legitimate grievances. Defendant Lee's revenue and actions. Defendant Lee is operated under, we know this, I'm not reading that. During her live streams, members of the public who subscribe for free to her channel can make monetary gifts in appreciation for her taking the time to orchestrate her live streams. The only products ever sold on her channel are crystals or promotional merchandise such as t-shirts with her channel logo. She acts like she doesn't have members. Like she doesn't have members. Like she lies. When guests have appeared who have been harassed by Hales for his content, Defendant Lee's audience has made monetary gifts to help assist them. And that's the thing. When you're a guest on somebody's channel, that money, like, that's why I say, like, if I have a guest on and they drop their Venmo or their channel link, you want to subscribe to them and go help. You want to help them, go subscribe to them, go give them money. Don't super chat me because at the end of the day, that's my income. So, and I have to pay taxes on that money. So literally she's basically saying that this right here, she's basically saying they super chat me and I don't do shit for them. Like because when you super chat the channel, the person with their name on the AdSense revenue, which for Squid Pro Quo is me, that is income that at the end of the year, I get a 1099 from YouTube and I have to pay taxes on. So has made monetary gifts to help assist them is a bold-faced freaking lie. Bold-faced lie from another YouTube creator who has a monetized channel. That is a bold-faced lie. Yes, all the money goes to her and not them. And that's part of the thing where it's like, I don't know if people who, I'm sure people who super chat a lot or have been on YouTube for a while know that that's how it works. But there are people who don't use YouTube a lot and super chat and think that just because that person's on your channel, the money's going to go to them. And it's like, that's not how it works. Like, that's not how that works. So it's like, it's one of those weird, Mr. Squid is home from work. So she lied. She lied by their own choice during defendant Lee's live stream. She lies. She lied right here. According to Hales, he began experiencing a loss of revenue in 2023. Notably, the alleged actions of defendant Lee did not begin until 2024. This is another in my opinion, trying to mislead the court, considering he gives the timeline and the judge has known the timeline. It's been named in all these documents enough to know that it's been named enough to know that it's not like, yeah, 2023 was not from you, you genius. 2023 was Hales, or was Lynette. Like we not the intellectually challenged individuals who follow the Flea. I don't judge anybody. There's people who come in here who follow them. I don't. My beef with her is strictly with her, and talking about my child. It's not with anybody who watches, because what other people do in the 22 hours a day that I'm not streaming is none of my damn business. Even if she sells merch, it seems like no one ever receives it. And that I can't, playing devil's advocate, that is not necessarily a her thing, because that is a whoever you're going through to do merch with, because I ordered Legal Vice's merch back in the day, and I got one part of my merch, but the other part didn't ship till like 6 months. I forgot that I had ordered the damn thing. And it's actually delivered to my old address, and I have to go get it. However, it's one of those situations of like, it's not always about the creator at that point. It's who they go through for their merch. So I can't, unless she's literally screen printing her own merch, which I highly doubt. I can't really, that one I got to play devil's advocate. I can't blame her for that, because that's not her, Oh, when she does a contest or giveaway, no one gets what they've won. Yeah, that's on her then. Unless you have like merch sitting around, you'd have to order it, get it delivered to you, or get it delivered to them, so that I can see. Okay. Not playing devil's advocate on that one. She screwed up. So yeah, I have no problem with people who watch them. It's the ones that keep giving to her based on things that never happen. Yeah, that's true. Notably, the alleged actions of defendant Lee did not begin until 2024. It's not a fucking secret. This timeline alone shows Hale's revenue decline started well after any conduct attributed to defendant Lee. You're making it worse. I see her argument, but her argument doesn't hold water. Like, further, even as described in his amended complaint, defendant Lee's alleged conduct consists of mainly making numerous statements during her live streams. None of these statements, as alleged, directly impact the number of views on Hale's public ad-supported videos, nor would they reasonably cause the public to avoid his subscription-based content, which offers access to his private life. She seems to skip the other, and we're only 8 pages into this, but she seems to skip the other issues that Jeremy has with her. Like, in addition, defendant Lee's live streams are distinct in both content and audience. Not really. Not really. Not when every thumbnail you have is Jeremy. Like, she primarily entertains, not really, not with that voice, interviews and discusses various newsworthy topics, none of which overlap or compete with any type of content from which Hales generates revenue. It's not the overlapping of content types. It's the fact that you're both live at the same time. Like, it's completely, yeah, she tells this right here, and I will take your word for it on that, because I can't stand her voice enough to either like to watch. So I honestly don't know. Sometimes people send me screen recordings, but like I said, I can't listen to her voice enough to But I'm interested in this distinct content that she has, like distinct content where she literally talks about the same topic every night. Does she talk about anything else besides Jeremy? Yeah, and I will never tell my viewers to do anything except for when somebody is on here and I support them, I will tell you to go support them too. Like my mods, if my mods have channels, my mods are free to drop their own links in the chat because I support them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be mods on my channel. And who am I to gatekeep YouTube? Yeah, if you have to tell me how good you are, you've lost me from the beginning. I have nothing to do with you, period. Yeah, and it's the people who try to seem like they are like these saints are generally the people that have the most protection. I will never claim to be the best person in the world because I have faults. I have a lot of faults. I will never claim to be the greatest person. And I will never tell you that I'm a better person than you. It's just no. Like it's just no. like if we're fighting and you're in front of my face, I'm gonna tell you that I'm better than you. But I'm never gonna tell you. I'm never gonna tell someone who's better than me to go do anything, except for sub to the people who I support. Like it's just weird. It's just weird. But I'm really curious to know this distinct content. Which Hales content is solely confined to storage. Hales' content is solely confined, sorry, I had to stop a laugh, to storage auctions, disputes with neighbors, and his legal battles in court. Also, Hales' headquarters, don't know, he makes content from up there. Like, I'm just, whereas all I've seen from their content is solely about Hales and people who hate Hales. And when you have guests on, Lisa, and you don't talk about anything else by how much you hate one person, that's really not a good look if you're trying to tell the judge that you have distinct content. When all of your thumbnails are literally have the same person's face in them, you're not making distinct content. Like, she tried to talk about the Owens case once, but didn't get viewers. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I talk about other cases, and a lot of you don't show up for those. So, but I do it anyway because I enjoy it. So it's one of those, like, I got 200 people in here right now for for my NTSB stuff. I usually get like 20 to 30. For my stuff on other cases, some cases more than others, between 20 and 45 or 50, depending on the case. So it's one of those situations of like my second highest views I get is on Reddit content. So it's like I can't really say about this one because like it happens to me too, but I talk about it anyway because I like it. So defendant Lee does not offer a product or service that is comparable to Hales. So okay, do you notice this? She literally says Jeremy's lost revenue is all about is not a product or service. It's not a product, but she defendant Lee does not offer a product or service that is comparable. Mm. I've seen her try other subjects. It resulted in a lot of dead air, a lot of okay, so in one word responses and conversations. I can talk more about those topics than I can about these. These just have longer documents and quite frankly more documents, and it's just fascinating from the like it's a microcosm of society. And that's one of the I love psychology, and it's like why people think the way they think, and this is where that gets fascinating to me. So, that's one of the reasons that this is interesting. Plus, will courts start taking online issues seriously? Because I don't think our courts have caught up to the YouTube world yet, and online content creation and having parasocial relationships with people. And sometimes those parasocial relationships go sideways, you know? Um, or to what his subscribers receive watching his private videos of life. Taken together, these facts show there is no logical or factual basis to conclude the defendant Lee's conduct could have caused or contributed to Hale's alleged revenue loss. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Yeah. Yeah, and that's part of the reason that it's interesting to me is like he is suing for things that people have done to me. So this is one of the reasons that I don't tell anybody who to go unsubscribe to or who I hate or who this or who that. Um, I will I will never tell people what to do with their time because this is what this me doing that is what they're doing to Jeremy. And I usually don't say that I'm a better person, but I would like to think that I'm a better person than that. So I would like to think that I'm a better person than go telling people not to watch or not to do other things because I don't like someone. That's yeah. Like mm. Yeah, I'm the same way. You and I are together on that. But you know what? I don't care cuz the opposite of hate is indifference. I just don't care. Um it's yeah. Furthermore, if one could conclude that merely reporting on a newsworthy topic is conspiring to scheme to take Hales down, no, the reporting on it is not. The telling people to unsubscribe, the telling people to go report his videos, telling people to call whatnot, that is the interference and the conspiracy part. That right there is the part that Jeremy has a problem with. Because reporting on a newsworthy topic is what I'm doing. Yes, I throw my opinions in there, but it's because I have opinions, and this is not a news program where I'm not a journalist where I'm literally reading a script, or writing an article and reading the article to you. Like, this is my personal opinions on this topic. With that being said, um, this is a newsworthy topic, and providing entertainment on a YouTube channel does not constitute good or service. She literally just said she does not offer a product or service comparable to Hales. And then she said reporting on newsworthy topics and providing entertainment on a YouTube channel does not constitute a good or a service. I'm pretty sure that's a service. Making a video is a service. Making a video for someone's entertainment is a service. It's like going to the movies. The actors in the movies are providing you with a service. It's called entertainment. Like, Thus, Hale's second amended complaint is entirely frivolous and egregious to use of the consumer protection laws. Yeah, that right there. Mhm. All right, facts alleged against defendant Lee by Hales. We all know this, so I am going to skip um, some of this because this is, plaintiff allegations against Lee in the following paragraphs are solely premised on statements of insult, opinion, and hyperbole solely about Hales' conduct and person during her YouTube live stream commentary. No, it's not. I can tell you that right now. No, it's not. Uh, um, but that's a viewer. That's not someone running a business. Terry, um, don't like if a YouTuber said it, it's taken a little different than if a person who is not monetized on YouTube, like a viewer, like say if you said it, you don't watch them, I'll do it for you, like that phrase, like because there's a whole person with a Facebook page that says, "I watched so you didn't have to," um, that is not for someone who's making money off of giving people information. Whereas Jeremy, what they're doing to Jeremy, they're taking away competition and they're trying to affect the competition. That's like a pizza place telling another pizza place or another, a person, oh, well, they got a really bad rating from this and they have roaches in their kitchen and this and that, even if they don't. Like that's seen as different because it's someone who's making money, taking money away from another business. It's not a consumer of that service giving their opinion. It's a little different. Like it's a little different. It's like it's legally different. That's the kicker. And I'm not a lawyer, but there's always a difference between what we think is ethics, what we think is ethical and what is actually ethical as far as the rules of professional conduct or a doctor's ethical obligations is a little different than our personal morals and ethics. Same thing with legal stuff is what we think should be illegal isn't always illegal. It's where the technicality, like I'm for sure if my parents could go back and teach me to take away the word technically from my vocabulary, they would. Because technicalities are where I live my life. Because I was that kind of kid that was like, my mom used to punish me. I was like, well, technically you said this. Well, technically you said this. And I would find loopholes. That's one of the reasons that when people file these lawsuits or don't, like when Leslie filed her lawsuit, like I don't agree with it, but I saw the loophole and the technicality that she was using to make it appear legit. Not saying that it's right. I'm just saying from someone who lives their lives by going technically, I saw the technicality. Yeah. And you have a complete show saying how you're going to destroy the Hales and discuss about doing it. Doesn't really help. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Gabby, how are you? Plaintiff fails to state a claim to satisfy the elements required under FDUPA claims. And we've seen this. So I'm going to kind of skim through this a little bit because we've seen this all before. Plaintiffs fail to meet the heightened pleading standard of Federal Rules of Procedure 9b. Plaintiffs allege defendant Lee's statements targeting Hales and Mr. Hales are likely to deceive or have actually deceived consumers and likely to influence consumers' purchasing decisions or other commercial property behavior against Hales. There was a person who used to super chat me all the time. Somebody else went and talked crap about me. They are a supporter of that channel. And when they stopped super chatting, they stopped super chatting me because of what that other person believed and told them and they believe. So literally likely to deceive or actually has deceived consumers. It's really not that hard in the sense of it's really not that hard to prove. This person used to super chat me blah blah amount per week. This person said this on their YouTube live stream. This person no longer comes in my streams, unsubscribed, no longer super chats me. So I'm losing the revenue from that person, which could possibly be like $100 to $200 a month at the time. So like that, it's not hard to prove damages. It's really not. And like they think it's like this so hard to they think it's so hard to prove these things. Is like I can show you how much I've made every month on YouTube. And I can show you when someone talked crap about me and I lost revenue, I lost ad revenue and I lost super chats from this person. And now people don't super chat me as much because of what this person said about me. And this person said about me repeatedly. I can show you a correlation. And correlation doesn't always equal causation, but I can highlight super chats and look at the number of super chats that I got before this person talked and after this person talked. And it's like, I can show you the evidence. It's really not hard. It would take me probably about 30 minutes to come up with all the evidence that I need to sue this person. I'm not going to because I ain't got the time and I really don't care. But it does not, they're acting like this is so hard to prove from Jeremy's side. And it's like, it's really not. As long as you have a good accountant, it's really not. And I'm pretty sure with the amount of time that Jeremy's been on YouTube, he's got a damn good accountant. They act like it's so, like it's this hard thing. And it's really not. I just can't understand how, this is why I don't talk about people in the sense of like name names, because I am not going to be, and just because you dirty delete shit doesn't mean it goes away. Sorry. Just that doesn't go away. Like it nice try, but it doesn't. All right. So they try to link it using Nutricel's group, the BPI Sports, alleging that defendant caused damages through deception. Hawk v. Advanced Micro Devices, Northern District of California, April 4th, 2019, same based on Ninth Circuit law. Well, the Ninth Circuit has some interesting, the Ninth Circuit is a very interesting place. Here, plaintiffs identify no actual statements that are deceptive, much less the requisite who, what, when, where, why, and how of the misconduct charged. Yeah, we haven't gotten to discovery yet, and nothing's been turned over, so Jeremy might have this, and we just don't see it. And all a case needs to go forward is, probable cause is not the right word, but you just have to show that this could be true. If based on the better, I can't remember the phrase, and I'm sorry, the evidence that's been shown, it's gonna be interesting. Oh, as well as what is false, misleading, or about the statement and why it is false. Cafaso v. General Dynamics Incorporated, Ninth Circuit, 2011. Interesting. Vague allegations are not sufficient. As a matter of law, the statements with such vagueness cannot demonstrate that Lee deceived a reasonable consumer. I would like to think of myself as a reasonable consumer, considering I didn't know who any of these people were before Megan covered it that first time. Preponderance. Thank you. A greater preponderance of the evidence. Thank you. I was having a moment. It was like, it was right there. It was right there. Commitment. I would like to think of myself as a reasonable consumer, and yeah, you've deceived a lot of people. Mr. Squid is home, so she's obsessed with her father, and when she heard the door open, she went running, and she's never looked back. I disappear when he comes home. Commitment to free speech are classic non-actionable opinions or puffery, as they are impervious to being quantified. Vaguely and highly subjective statements cannot support a deception claim under the Fair Trade Practices Act either. Hertz v. Accenture, Southern District of New York, 2019, dismissing Trade Practice Act claim based on defendant's claim to have the best talent in the world. That's not even the citing of the case law. Like, that is not even relevant. Words is hard sometimes. Words is hard for me. Words is hard. English is hard. That's why people that are like, excuse me, English is my second language, excuse my grammatical, and I'm like, I can't even speak English half the time. So yeah. Civil cases only have to prove 51%. Criminal is beyond a reasonable doubt. And that's why when people like Karen Reed is found innocent by a jury, but the family is suing her civilly because they need less evidence. Flea does not make vague statements. So I've heard. And AP, thanks for the $5 super chat. Should have been a lawyer squid because technically that's all they really do. Yeah, it's his favorite thing, I think. Dismissing a trade practices act claim based on a representation that is not the sort of empirical, verifiable statement that could be affirmatively disproven. No, but all the text messages between all of you guys who are like, did you call this person, or did you do this? Did you do this? Did you contact whatnot? Good. Did you tell them to go contact whatnot? Why did you tell them to do that? That all could be taken. Yeah, that could all be taken as verifiable statements. Just saying. After a while, as you grow older, you don't care what people think. If you don't like me for being me, oh well, that's your loss. Yeah. And the people who are like, I've had or you get distracted easily. I talk to my chat. I enjoy talking to my chat. Secondly, the people who it's not like I get distracted by myself, I talk to the chat because the chat is what makes YouTube fun. Just recording and editing videos to me is not fun. Like talking to my chat is fun. It's, it's. Hey, King Paco, how are you? I am doing okay. Got a new computer. Birthday gift from Papa Squid. All right. Plaintiff's amended complaint fails to allege Lee is engaged in unfair or deceptive acts or practices in the conduct of any trade or commerce. From what I understand from reading a few books about law, not a lawyer. However, I do work for 4 hours on Tuesdays where I'm pretty much by myself just doing stuff. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I've listened to, a few books on Audible, and I'm like, any trade, it's not hard to prove trade or commerce, especially over state lines, which is one of the things that makes us federal, because we're not all in the same state. Hell, we're not all in the same country. But here's the thing. If you are soliciting super chats while you are, and this is a question I have for expert, because he went to law school. Of any conduct of any trade or commerce, if you're talking and lying or doing stuffing and you're getting super chats because of the stuff you're saying, because people in the chat also don't like Jeremy, would that qualify as deceptive acts or practices in the conduct of any trade or commerce because they're giving you super chats while you are doing this? If it was an unmonetized stream, it might be seen differently. But because it's a monetized stream, that's a question for a lawyer, but that's a question that I have. Even taking all Hales allegations as true, plaintiffs count 2, asserting that violation of Florida Deceptive and Unfair Trade Practices Act fails as a matter of law, because plaintiff does not plausibly allege that Lee engaged in trade or commerce. As defined by Florida Statute 501.203, plaintiff fails to allege Lee has offered any good or service, any property, or anything of value. Well, it might be a service. I don't see it as valuable, but hey, to each their own. Like, but this is just me. Those terms are, plaintiff fails to allege Lee has offered any good service, property, or anything of value, as those terms are used in the trade or commerce provision of the statute. Yeah, but is she citing the statute properly? That's the thing. This is why it's good to have a lawyer. This is why it's good to have a lawyer. When allegations claim Lee receives donations from viewers during her live streams, Lee, who provides a free live stream open for public viewing, in which members of the public have chosen on their own accord to make monetary gifts to Lee during her free live streams, is not a consumer type transaction that affects that right here. This wouldn't required to satisfy a Trade Practices Act claim. The case she cites, it is important, worth reiterating, the purpose of trade practice to protect the consuming public and legitimate business enterprises. You know how much money people could have saved? I'm just saying. Plaintiff alleged their complaint makes no allegation that Lee has offered something of value in exchange for a monetary transaction. Well, technically, your stream, although is free, it's not required to super chat, but people super chat and support who they like. So it's one of those things that a lawyer is going to have to process out. What is your definition of something of value? Truth for your law sucks should be natural law, but we're placed under commerce law from England. Loves these, and it's plaintiff's allegations admit that Lee received donations during live streams not as a payment for any good or service, but as simply as monetary gifts from viewers. That's not a gift; it's income. It's income, and that's where the legal technicality is going to come from when people say, "Oh, people super chat me and say Baby Squid's banana fund." It's one of those, it's a technically, yes, it's a gift-ish, but it's income. It's viewed by the legal system and by the IRS as income. A super chat is income. So it's not a gift. Like a gift would be an Amazon list. Gifts from viewers as a viewer's discretion, which do not constitute trade or commerce. Yeah, but you also sell merch. And if you promote your merch store on your live streams, well, if it's done through Super Chat, she has no choice. She'll get a 1099 from YouTube at the end of the year. So it's there was the joke that I was trying to tread carefully around. Yes, Squid has to declare the banana fund as income. Yes. And hey, King Bob, how are you? So as far as the super chats, it's the Venmos and stuff like that you have to report on when you do your taxes. And that is what you could easily not report. Good morning, you terrible grifter. I know I'm so bad. Yet people still call me a grifter. It's interesting. Yeah, she misspelled grift. Oh my goodness. That is true. Oh my God. Oh, y'all cracked me up. This is one of the I love the chat. The chat is what makes YouTube fun. And YouTube, at the end of the day, yes, sometimes it's very hard work, and sometimes I don't want to do things like the research and the time to put into what I am, or what I do. Like tomorrow's stream, I'm working on finding better coverage of the video, like the full video, and I think I'm just gonna have to deal with cuts. However, it is it's a lot of time behind the scenes searching for things because I don't have people that just send me stuff. It's just not, all my content is me. I don't really have people sending me stuff because I'm just not that popular like that. Like I said, I'm not part of the cool kids club, it's C. Macias versus HBC of Florida, Florida 3rd District Court of Appeals, 1997, holding that Trade Practices Act does not apply anywhere where the alleged act fails outside the definition of trade or commerce. But trade or commerce is a wide definition. The trade or commerce is a broad definition. See also Kelly v. Palmer, and I don't have the exact definition in front of me right now, and to give you the what I think is the definition would not be accurate or precise, but it's a very broad definition. Yeah, super chats are tips or gratuity for entertainment. I'm pretty sure the government would designate it as a service and income, therefore commerce. Oh, those pesky details. Mm. Those pesky details. Finding no liability where defendant's conduct did not involve the provisions of goods or services to a consumer. Plaintiff lacks causation and standing as a consumer or interested party when he has never engaged in Lee's YouTube channel. Plaintiffs cannot establish a causal link between defendant Lee's alleged deceptions and their purported injuries. Causation is a necessary element of the claim, and it must be direct rather than remote or speculative. You are directly mentioning his name. You are mentioning money. You are mentioning to report his stream, which will get, or his videos, which will get them taken down and cause him to lose money. That seems like a direct link to me. I'm not a lawyer. Once again, not a lawyer, but that seems like your people super chatting. No bananas are just a suggestion. Yeah, and there's the kicker. Just a suggestion. Lee's receipt of monetary gifts or donations. See, they're not donations. They're not donations. A donations would be a GoFundMe or a Give Send Go. A super chat is not a donation. A super chat is income, seen by the IRS as income. So, during her YouTube live streams, does not create a competitive relationship between Lee and plaintiff. Once again, she's not looking at the definition of a competitor in the business sense. Every YouTube channel who is competing for views, we're all competing for the same viewers, the same super chat money, the same ad revenue. Like, it's like, yeah, we pay sales tax to YouTube when purchasing super chats. The product is the super chat. Tax tips are taxable for the recipient, and that's the thing. Technically, their tax on tips is a subject right now, but they're a service. I work for a tax company, and all of the apps where you can receive cash, they're going to send a 1099. Yeah, the same watch hours. Yes. So, yes, is it a friendly competition? Generally speaking, yes. However, that being said, still a competition. Like I said, when someone only has $20 to super chat per month, that's their budget for super chats, and they watch 5 or 6 people different live streams, you are competing for that piece of the pie. It's not a competition as far as like I'm going to, beat you to the finish line, or like I'm going to, score more points than you, like a football game. But it is by definition in the business world competition. So YouTube live streams do not create a competitive relationship between Lee and plaintiff. If plaintiff and Lee have ever been live at the same time, ever, there's your competition. I already got those. But here, and the case she cites, Recognizing that Trade Practices Act is designed to protect consumers, not business competitors or bystanders. Plaintiff's own allegation confirm he derives income from YouTube Partner Program revenue based on the amount of views his free-to-watch videos receive and paid subscriptions to view his private videos about his private life. His revenue sources alleged to be in his amended complaint have no nexus to any allegation against Lee's deceptive statements in receipt of donations. She doesn't understand the business world. She doesn't understand the business world. It's like, tell me you're not an entrepreneur, the mindset, without telling me. Even if this court takes the plaintiff's allegations against Lee as true, receiving donations from viewers during a live stream, it's not donations, it's income. And I'm really hoping that Randy points that out, because that has been one of my thing. When people call it donations, I lose my shit. Like, you can ask Spawn Trooper whenever he's been talking about it, and he's like, people donating or this or that. I'm like, it's not donation. And we get sometimes in a little rough and tumble, because we're like, he's like, I'm just referring to this, and I know what you mean. And I'm like, it's like a trigger. It's how to go from 0 to 60 in like 2.5. It's not a donation. It is income. And it's a very technical, like, the IRS doesn't call that a donation. Neither do I. Like, not free to watch. If an ad plays, he says an ad during the stream or video. Like, oh. And Kathy Stewart, thank you for the $9.90 in the super chat. Pacer funds, banana funds, and whatever you need. I appreciate your content and your down-to-earth approach to the topics you choose to follow. Since I can adult, I choose what I watch. I'm glad you can adult. I like people that can adult. Adulting is so overrated, though. I'm not going to lie. When I was a kid, all I wanted to do was be an adult. What the hell was I thinking? See, you should have been. I wanted to be a lawyer until my freshman year of high school. We were doing mock trials in some class. And I hated public speaking. Hated it. Figure that one out. Plaintiff's own allegations confirm he derives income from YouTube Partner Program. His revenue sources alleged to be affected in his complaint have no nexus to any allegations Lee alleges deceptive statements in receipt of donations. Not donations. Receiving donations from viewers during a live stream have no connection to whether someone chooses to view Hales' public free videos or paid subscriptions. She literally fights against her own argument in that paragraph, in my opinion. I do too. Just based on the facts. Like, I don't have to, even if I hated Jeremy and I thought he was the worst person in the world, the facts are the facts, and the facts don't change based on who I like or don't like. She literally says, receiving donations from viewers during a live stream has no connection to whether someone chooses to view Hales free or paid subscriptions. What if they only have a certain budget and they choose to super chat you and they say, I can't afford to pay for Jeremy's subscription right now because I super chatted them? That she literally fights against her own. She literally fights against her own reasoning in that same paragraph. Furthermore, plaintiffs provide no allegations in his complaint that he ever engaged in Lee's YouTube channel. He doesn't have to. You use him as content. Thus, plaintiff fails to meet criteria to be considered as a consumer when he fails to fulfill the standing requirement under the Act because he has not engaged previously in the business involved. I don't think that means what she thinks it means. And this is another question of YouTube as a whole. You are a consumer of YouTube, not an individual channel. So there's going to be a that's true. Yeah, my biggest fears in life are public speaking and reading out loud. whenever we had to read out loud in class in like high school from our books, I was like, I don't want to do it. I'm really bad at reading out loud. Like I said, make it make sense. There's another question I have though. And this is my non-lawyer will be asking a lawyer a question. And you know what's sad is before any of this started, back in like October during like the Sarah Boone trial or the Alec Baldwin trial, you know who I would have asked on this channel to help me provide some of these answers? MLS. Yep. Yep. Kind of sad about that. Therefore, plaintiff lacks standing to assert a claim against Lee as he is not affected by a violation of the statute or affected by an order enforcing authority. See Curtis v. Net Transactions, Monsanto v. Campazano. Fails to allege actual damages. Plaintiff further fails to allege actual damages as required under the Trade Practices Act. Here, plaintiff admits that his alleged losses of business revenue began prior to any action by Lee. That's not the point. That's not the point. That's not the point. Severing any casual connection or nexus. She's using nexus like it's this huge, like, nexus. And plaintiff's purported damages. Moreover, the complaint does not allege that plaintiff was a consumer of any good or service offered by Lee, that Lee offered the same good or services as Hales, nor that Lee alleged conduct directly caused plaintiff to suffer any loss of money or property, as the Trade Practice Act requires. I don't think she reads the stuff she's putting in there. So much of it is just irrelevant cases. Yeah, and I haven't taken the time to look up these cases, so I don't know, but I doubt it. I highly doubt she knows what nexus means. It's just one of those situations, you know? Even assuming, arguendo, that Lee's conduct constituted trade or commerce, plaintiff fails to allege any concrete actual damages resulting from Lee's actions. You're taking money from people that live in a different state than you. There's trade and there's commerce. Like there's your trade and commerce. Trade Practice Act requires a showing of actual damages, not speculative or consequential losses. I'm pretty sure Jeremy's accountant can go, see, this is where she got involved. See, my income, views. It's like she's never looked at YouTube analytics before. It's like she's never looked at YouTube analytics. Analytics shows you impressions. It even breaks down the who's subscribed, who's not. So you can see who's watching, who's not, how many people are watching who are not subscribed to you, a percentage of. But if you really want to do the math, you can do the math. It's don't tell your wife. Plaintiff does not allege any such losses with respect to any product or service purchased from Lee. She's skipping a big part of she's got some definitions backwards. It's one of those things of when you think about it goes back to like what I think is my personal morals and values versus what is actually ethical and moral according to the law. Well, they didn't pay for it, so technically they did. Just user or advertisers paid for them. Shit gets weird once you monetize your YouTube channel. Once you monetize your channel, you are now a business. You were a contractor with YouTube. Those. Sometimes I look at it and it's like, I know I'm not a lawyer, but common sense screams this case. Like, yeah, you lose control to the monster. Yeah. Ugh. Squid, wait, can you go back and go back and read the judge's order regarding her first motion? There seems to be off. So this is technically, we had already read this because she put this in as exhibit 87. It was 87-2. It was exhibit C from her motion for leave to file an amended complaint. She just put it in there as like a, hey, here's, if I were to file an amended complaint, this would be it. So instead of her actually filing a new amended complaint, they just took that document and submitted it as the amended complaint. So I believe Tug had looked up some of the stuff. She had to make like 28 to 30,000 just to show revenue from this year for YouTube. That's not counting all the different donations. What? Damn. I'm not even close to that. Not even close. I would just like to make enough to cover everything and then groceries. Because groceries is expensive. Like cover internet, stuff like that. The Pacer docs. And Pacer docs are quarterly though, so, and then pay for groceries and stuff. You know? Because when you got a toddler who like, I want this, no, I want this, no, I want this. It's yesterday, what do you want for dinner? Burger. Okay, ordered her a burger because they didn't have any in the house. You want to eat your burger? No. Of course not. Of course not. Yeah, a lot of what she states is semantic and holds no water when looked at constructively. She is saying literally the person to blame for his losses himself and no one else or their actions towards him. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Mo Raid. Hi, guys. Mo Raid. Oh. All right. Additionally, it would be impossible to prove that Lee's conduct led to substantial decrease in Hales' free video views. Not really. Like I said earlier, comparing when she started talking about him, and he has all the transcripts. Like, you can dirty delete all you want, but he already has the stuff. And then you can look at the views, the impressions, the amount that people watch, the comments. You can even look at the number of comments and the interactions with the channel. So it's really not, it's like she's never taken a look at YouTube analytics. And I'm really hoping that Randy in his response mentions YouTube analytics. I don't know how they would get that in there, but like YouTube analytics speak otherwise. Like, ugh. Hey, Andrea, how are you? Ugh. Without bringing in at least 10,000 witnesses to prove testimony to this court because of Lee's conduct, they stopped watching these free videos. YouTube analytics. And I'm pretty sure with as big as Jeremy's channel is, he pays attention to analytics. Like he pays attention to analytics. And sorry, Andrea, I just saw your first comment. Squiddy poo. You wouldn't have to bring in 10,000 witnesses. There is digital data that prove. And yes, he would have to prove it for more than 1 month and consecutively because correlation does not always equal causation. However, yeah, but with the amount of people that screenshot and screen record, and he had somebody grabbing transcripts, like, that there is the only problem with transcripts is it doesn't have punctuation, so you don't know exactly who was speaking and or the inflection of the voice, but words are words. Like, it's I'm watching on a TV and a laptop. Comments aren't the same on both for some reason. So when you go to your chat, make sure you're on live chat and not top chat. So there is no correlation between Lee receiving monetary discretional donations. They're not donations, it's income. During her live streams and to the decrease in Hales' paid subscriptions to watch Hales' private life videos. Also, you can subpoena her analytics because she brought it up. You can, as part of discovery, you can subpoena her analytics. She fails to understand that there is a discovery portion where Jeremy gets to prove his case. Because if Jeremy gets to discovery and doesn't get the evidence that he's looking for or the proof that he's looking for, then the judge is like, you did discovery, you found nothing, now you can't prove your claims. You're done. He doesn't have to prove his claims in his complaint. That's not where you prove. That's just where the judge takes it where is like the greater preponderance of the evidence based on what you've said means there's something here that we need to look at. It's not you need to prove your case. That's what, yeah. Furthermore, in Hales' deposition taking 12/2/24, where he had attacks an attorney deposing him with voluminous statements of hostility and disparagement, mocks the court system, calling judges corrupt, and provides no specific details on his revenue loss besides mere generalized speculations. Well, here's the thing. And this is one of my huge criticisms of Jeremy, and has been from December 2nd, or whenever I got my hands on the transcripts. I didn't agree with the way Jeremy answered some of those questions. Like, I will go back and say it to that deposition is part of the reason Randy got sanctioned. Not the exact reason. The exact reason was those 2 documents that the judge seemed frivolous. However, it pissed off the judge because the judge had said the only person who acted right in that deposition was the court reporter. So, yeah, there are some things where I disagree with Jeremy, and the conduct in the deposition, which could be used in court and could be played in front of the jury as evidence of why people should not like Jeremy. It's Ugh. Oh. Patrick, thanks for the $5 super chat, not a donation to the not a donation fund. Thank you for contributing to my monthly income. Oh my goodness. This case is becoming harder and harder to view and is slowly becoming a war of attrition, whereas Jeremy pays for every filing. They don't even, though a millionaire is still backing some of the ecosystem. Yeah, it. Yeah, this right here, I think it comes back to when Bubbles said he wasn't turning anything over because it wasn't relevant and it was just a fishing expedition. And that's the thing. You don't get to choose what's a fishing expedition and what's not. You can always file an order that says they're the scope of what they want for discovery, but Bruce did that and the judge didn't buy it. So, and provides no specific details on revenue loss besides generalized speculations. It is evidenced not only in his vague allegations of damage in his amended complaint and sworn deposition transcripts that it is impossible for him to prove damages to satisfy a claim, and to date can only speculate damage. I'm assuming that was supposed to be footnote 3. But here's the footnote. Page 275, lines 17 to 19. You fool, you ignorant fool, shut up and listen when I'm answering your questions. She's not wrong here. I mean, even though they did talk about setting Jeremy up to fail, Jeremy fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. I do like Jeremy, and I believe he's going about it with the courts, but sometimes, yes, he does make me cringe a little bit in how he goes about it, but overall, I think he's fighting good fight. And I agree. Sometimes it's just like sometimes less is more. Less is more. And you going into that deposition, he knew or should have known that they were going to set him up for failure, basically. And he fell for it, knowing full well that they were talking about it. And he still let his emotions get the best of him. And it's like, that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to get under your skin, and they are damn good at it. And that's maybe it's just because, like, I don't let people get under my skin, and the minute that they do, I'm like, I look back, I look at Mr. Squid. I mentioned something to Mr. Squid, and he's like, "Why do you even care?" And you know what? That's a really good point. I don't. Like, the minute I think I start to care, I look at him, and he's like, "Why do you care? Like, what is this doing? How is this making your life any better?" And he's like, "You know what? You're right." And I just don't care. And the problem is I think Jeremy cares sometimes a little too much about things that he shouldn't. Like, Deuce is stupid. Everybody knows it. Just give him enough rope to hang himself. You know, just lead the line out, because the more that you don't let them bother you, the more it's going to get under their skin. Because what they're doing isn't working, which is hilarious because they have meltdowns when they don't affect people. And it's hilarious. This is one of the reasons that nobody really comes in here and trolls anymore. Is because people were only coming in here and trolling to try to get under my skin. And when I'd literally laugh and people would super chat me to make fun of the trolls, it's like, y'all, you realize you're just making me money, right? So how about you stop trolling me? And they don't come in here anymore. It's kind of funny. They all sit on the outside and they talk shit, and they like put my streams up in their Discord and rewatch them because, like, I don't know about that shit. But no one comes in here and trolls because I make fun of them because they're useless. And it's like one of those things of like, when you turn off your computer at the end of the day, did any of these people really matter? No. So there's a fun time. Jeffrey, thanks for the $10 super chat. Late fee, and what the hell is this, even close to 5% of what I spent my day today? Let's show Squid some love, because we know you love your chat as much as we all love you and the content. Thank you. I do love my chat, because if it weren't for the chat, YouTube would be boring. And YouTube is not supposed to be boring. YouTube is supposed to be fun. Yeah, that deposition had me cringing a little bit of don't fall for it. Yeah. And I did read that do a dramatic reading of that stream, or the depositions, both parts 1 and parts 2 with IT Goatee. So go back and check those out. Buck Naked, thanks for the $10 super chat. I would sure like to have a banana. A good host would give her chat bananas. I'm sorry, all I got is baby girl's candy, and it's hiding up there. She doesn't know about it. Jeremy responds from feelings and anger about having people in his life attacked, and feels he has to respond, but the intensity of the feelings comes through, and he can't get cringy when viewed legally. Yeah, and I think that's part of my thing is like, I just don't, because if you respond, people like that just try to play the victim, because they will egg and egg and egg and egg and egg and egg and project, and then the minute you respond, it's you're the bad guy, and it's like, they're gonna do it, so why do you give them the time of day? And the thing is they're gonna do it whether he responds or not. So, like, why is Jeremy giving them the time of day? That's what I don't, yeah, it doesn't matter what Jeremy said in his deposition, because the deposition has nothing to do with the case against Flea. That is true. That is true. However, I see Bruce being Bruce and bringing that deposition in and trying to bring Jeremy's loathing of him, shall you say, from case 1 into case 2, because that's what Bubbles does, is he brings shit that's not relevant, trying to make it relevant. And he's going to be like, see, he's only suing me because I was their lawyer in this and he didn't like me. So I agree with you, technically. However, I see Bruce and I see all these people being that underhanded that they'll try to bring it in to be like, see, he doesn't like me. So in a way, I agree with you. However, because there's a common link between both cases, Bubbles, who is the shit stirrer, do you notice he stirs the pot and then runs away? So there's my only like agree to disagree part. See, I can't because of the simple fact that remember Jeremy tried to amend the original complaint in Fed 1 to add these people and the judge said no, so he filed a new lawsuit. So I don't see these two being combined because of the fact that the judge literally told Jeremy to file a second lawsuit and didn't allow these people to be added to the first one. There's the kicker with that. So yeah, for sure. BBB is going to try to bring anything, even if it's irrelevant from another case that he cannot use, he will try. And that's where the deposition comes into play. And the deposition can also be used by Lynette and John in the first one. If it ever goes to a jury trial, they either as pro se or whoever they get as a lawyer, God bless that person, can use that. And that can be shown to the jury as evidence. And that's the thing. It can be used in the jury. And if they get it into Fed 2, because Bruce likes to try to pull some underhanded crap, they can show it to the jury as to why you shouldn't like Jeremy. Because why the charges against Bruce shouldn't stand because Jeremy doesn't like me because I was their lawyer in this other case. Kind of a prior bad acts stuff. So, yeah, that's the thing. That's the other thing that pissed off the judge. It should be a straightforward defamation case with one plaintiff and two defendants. And here we are with, all of this shit later. So, as long as you know what to say and what not to say to allow something to be brought in, I can see that I'm at opening her mouth and allowing just about everything and maybe not some. Yeah. And that's the hard part about this is I'm not a lawyer, so I can't know. And I don't know specifically what can be brought in and can't by Randy, just because of what she mentions here. But because she mentioned it here, Randy can respond to it. So there's like but she mentions the Save HG website and see the corruption of a judge. They see corruption of Levy County because Levy County is by definition corrupt. Like he just goes into the deposition more. So he didn't let them add because BBB was both a defendant and defense. They filed a new case. Judge blamed Randy for BBB being mad and acting like a fool. Yeah, I have a feeling it was discussed briefly. I still don't think the judge is going to do it though. I just see the judge being like, let's try to get that one over first because that's one straightforward case. I don't see the judge combining it. So Randy paid the price. Yeah, but we've gotten into that. Like, monetary sanctions are easy. Monetary sanctions is like a speeding ticket. Like, you pay your fine and you're good. Like, no hurt feelings. You pay your fine and you move on about your life. What Bubbles did is, remember, we looked at the Northern District of Florida local rules, and they're like 80 pages long. So you think about all the stuff, and it's not Judge Blytho who's doing it. So it's, there's a lot of stuff that's probably going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. In the sense of judges talking to each other. So there's that too, but I don't like the fact that BBB hasn't been sanctioned yet, but then again, he's hiding intermediate. Well, one, I mentioned, we kind of briefly talked about this before you got here. You can't sanction a lawyer when a case is on stay. It just doesn't work like that. 2, from what I understand, the judge above Blytho is handling it. Thirdly, monetary sanctions are easy. You write a check, you're good. They have 3 different states to deal with: um, Florida, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. Also, I believe I haven't seen it in writing, but I believe he has to be there in person, but I still haven't been able to find that one in writing. Um, so that one's kind of a rumor to me at this point. Also, there's issues with the judge being now Bruce made it crazy by being a defendant in the second case, being a sanctionable attorney in the first case. So if I don't think he truly will be sanctioned, and this is people are going to be mad at me for this. I don't think he will truly be sanctioned until after Fed 2 is over with. And I say this because if he is sanctioned before Fed 2 is over with, he's going to write a motion to get Judge Belatho removed because for bias and that he was sanctioned too harshly and this and that. So I just don't see him being sanctioned for a long time because of the fact that he is it. You also don't want to be known as the judge. You also don't want to be known as the judge to sanction too harshly. So yeah, it's a fine line. Yeah, that right there. So it doesn't it has to be in person with the magistrate. It's not to be in person for the trial judge. And I haven't seen that in writing. So when I'm looking through like the Northern District of Florida rules, I haven't exactly read that. So that's why I say it's kind of a rumor to me at this point because I'm that kind of person that I like to see it in writing, and that's one of the reasons I like to read the documents, and I don't just like to say, well, this person said that the document said this, and it's like that's why whenever I get a news report or something where I see an actual document, I'm like, let me read the document and let me compare what was said in the document and actually with the court to what was written in this article and see if they match. So I hope this is done soon. I'm getting tired of hearing it. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I only cover documents and I only cover, you know, mm, that's true. Good. That's a good point too. I think we may see sanctions earlier because any non-monetary sanctions need to come from higher than the magistrate and therefore could be seen as separate from Belatho himself. That's true too. Yeah, there's a lot of questions that are it's a rock and a hard place because you also don't want to be known as the judge who gives sanctions or over sanctions. Middle District of Florida reaffirmed these requirements when it dismissed a non-consumer plaintiff's Trade Practice Act claim for failure to plead injury to consumers, holding that merely postulating that consumers may be confused as plaintiffs did is not sufficient to state a claim under the Trade Practices Act. I'm interested to see what they were talking about with that because in the sense of she picks out a good statement that makes her case, but what is the context? Hmm. Here, Hales does not allege actual injury to consumers, nor does he identify a single consumer who was deceived, misled, or otherwise harmed by defendant's alleged conduct. The second amended complaint details Hale's own alleged loss of advertising revenue and paid subscriptions, but these are injuries alleged suffered by Hales himself, not by consumers. But if Hales watches anybody else, he's technically a consumer of YouTube. If Hales has ever super chatted anybody else, he's technically a consumer of YouTube. I don't believe in the sense of the law. I don't believe. Could be wrong. Don't believe in the wording of the law that it has to be a specific channel. I don't think the law has caught up to YouTube and specific channels yet. However, we could it yeah, I smell a deuce all over this document. I'm just saying. Um uh, it's a yeah, I smell deuce all over this document because It reads like it's supposed to be smarter than a. Hmm. Um, it's one of those things of like, you know, mm, 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 mm. Furthermore, the theory that defendant Lee's live stream statements or fundraising practices somehow harmed Hales' audience is purely speculative. Hales does not allege facts showing that any consumer relied on or was misled by Lee's statements. I'm pretty sure there are people who have said, "I'm not watching him anymore." Mm. Nor that any consumer suffered monetary or other damages as a result. I can think of one. Just putting that out there. Instead, the amended complaint simply repeats that donations, they're not donations, were solicited and that Hale's revenue declined. Federal pleading standards is articulated in Ashcroft v. Iqbal, oh, that's everybody's favorite case to cite, require more than a conclusory or speculative allegations. They require facts showing plausible entitlement to relief. This document, I feel like, has a little bit of everybody and has a little bit of uh, Google lawyer written all over it, like phrases and words and, you know, yeah. Yeah, Jeremy doesn't have to prove anything until the trial, as he was said he wouldn't have an expert to do exactly that. Mhm. All it right now to move forward, it has to be plausible. Not a legal term, but you know, it has to be probable and that that a reasonable person would be like, yeah, that probably happened based on what you said. The recent Middle District of Florida decision is directly on point. Allegations that consumers may be confused or may be harmed are not sufficient. Hale's failure to plead actual concrete injury to any consumer is fatal to his Trade Practices Act claim. And he is a non-consumer plaintiff. But here, is he technically a non-consumer? That would be up to the legal standard of what a consumer of YouTube is. Do you have to be a consumer of a specific channel? And there is a way to prove that he has watched that channel. All he has to do is tune in and he's a consumer. So this is a non-consumer plaintiff really doesn't hold water in my opinion anyway, because Hales has failed. And who starts a sentence with because Hales has failed to allege any actual injury to consumers is required by both Florida and federal law. He technically could be viewed as a consumer. I don't think she did her research on that. I just got a feeling. I see it. I see you. I just got to open up. Oh, please say that this didn't log me out. Yay. There we go. Sorry, guys. I had to send a link. All right. Hales failed to allege any actual injury to consumers. His claim must be dismissed. Hey, Spawn, Stripper.
Oh boy, do I have a lot to say about this stream. That woman, I swear to God, when God created brains, she thought he said trains and she asked for the fucking timetable. I mean, seriously, who in their right mind? She's got, like, she makes out that she's a lawyer, which she isn't. The fact that I don't even know where to start. There's so much. I mean, let's look at it this way.
I have my I just checked. I have my 2 dislikes. Thank you for two.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, brilliant. Thanks very much for the dislikes. At least you're actually sitting outside watching this stream and actually give a shit about it. So, yeah, idiots. Anyway, point 1. All right, she used to be a mod or had something to do with what the hell's way before all this started. Okay. Point two, when all this started with the water meters and everything else, and it started sort of spiraling into this legal case that we see now, all right, they tried to rip him off. He was like, yep, no, that's not happening. Okay. The moment that happened, right, obviously this big hoo-ha started going off, and then these signs appeared and everything else happened. And then have a guess who came out of the fucking shadows. They had a fucking pet peeve. They already didn't like freaking Jeremy. So what's the best thing to do? What they did, they jumped on the bandwagon. They probably solicited her in basically contacting Lynette. And then obviously you got Deuce Foreskin, right? Because with his nose, he could, do you know what? If he goes into a swimming pool, there has to be a warning sign. This is a human being, not a shark, doing a backstroke, right? You've got these people character assassinating before they even went into the grift, character assassinating Jeremy Hales. And basically they became the mouthpiece for Lynette and John Cook. And by the way, John Cook was on someone else's stream today. He seemed quite happy. But that's by and by, right? You're telling me that
Apparently I'm human trash in his eyes.
Oh, brilliant. So I wonder what I am. Anyway, okay. So all right, this grifting started. All the GoFundMes, hi Belinda Rogers, all the GoFundMes and all the gift and goes and everything else, the scrounging, the continuous scrounging. And what did Flea do? She jumped on that like flies on shit. She went, oh, we can make some money here. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, you have to remember one thing. Memberships and super chats, unless you put it in writing, if you don't say in there, it is a donation towards it means nothing. That's
and
it.
And even that, in the eyes of the law, doesn't mean a damn thing.
Exactly. However,
so here, Midas Claw from Google's super chat, super stickers policy. You should be aware that super chat, super stickers aren't crowdfunding or donation tools.
Exactly. That's what's his name again? Claw person?
Midas Claw.
Midas Claw? You jumped the
I love
gun,
you to bits, but calm down with the swearing.
Diana, freedom of speech, freedom of expression.
Yeah, it happens. It's a passionate thing. It's a passion thing.
Anyway, unless you're my mum, but I doubt very much because my mum was gorgeous. Anyway, then
and not in the US.
Yeah, and then okay, you've got these people who are like they're grifting, money's going in. Here's the thing: memberships and super chats is one thing, but when someone sends multiple amounts of money in the thousands, right, and states this is for this is for that, and it's a donation towards something, maybe the barnuminium, maybe it be the fence and everything else. I've already covered the fence. That fence was already paid for in October last year.
Yeah, and we're not going to cover what
exactly
what's been done, but
what she's doing in here, the whole thing about this freaking shit of a piece of paper, right, is this: she is trying to use excuse after excuse after excuse, right? The less she actually talks and the less she actually, does things herself, the bigger the spotlight's going to be, because the more she's putting out there, the bigger the spotlight. What she should be doing is keeping her mouth shut, talking about flowers and bees and honey, right, and letting a professional lawyer, right, represent her. But the professional lawyers who are helping her write this paperwork, right, are Richmond and frickin' Deuce Boy.
Well, do you notice the only people who have a lawyer in this case are the lawyers? Do you think that's a coincidence?
No.
Exactly. And she says here, plaintiff's unprecedented effort to use the claim to obtain an injunction compelling defendant Lee to shut down her YouTube channel not only fails under Florida law, but it's also categorically barred by the First Amendment. No, I don't think it's to shut down your YouTube channel. I think it's to get your YouTube channel demonetized because you're breaking terms of service.
And the guidelines of YouTube. Yes, exactly. And that she's done multiple times. I mean, if you really want to be petty, and I mean, this is just hypothetically speaking, if you want to be petty, which I'm going to be now, okay, Now, I'm not monetized. However, when I do monetize, do you seriously think I'm going to continue to talk about this case? Abso-freaking-lutely.
And that's one of the reasons that you said you didn't want to monetize until after this case was over, because you didn't want to, you know.
Exactly. All right. But I'm still going to talk about it. But the thing is, once this case is over and done with, right, then I will look into, then I will think about monetization. But until then, me personally, it's my choice. But the thing is, she, with other people who she's now associating herself with other people now, right? It's all about trying to get these channels up. So she's got a little bit of like her little minions, her little disciples, so she can go from one channel to another and take attention away from her own channel, because she's already dug that hole.
That's a good point. I didn't even like, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at Alien Live or Mod Squad or Stacy Nat, okay, we all know that Fleesa and other people go onto her stream now. Her stream is suddenly becoming the foreground of what's going on.
And that's where I don't know who any of these people are. So, you know, it's a cult of fleas.
And the thing is, funny enough, today, by pure coincidence, I was actually sent a link and say, hey, go and look at this. I went on there, and the first thing I saw was that ugly mush of John Cook. And I was like, yep, there you go. There you go.
I got sent a screenshot that apparently he just went on, I guess he just went in their chat. He wanted to go to bed, but he just had to say that I'm a piece of human trash. And I'm like, you know.
Well, you are the way you treat me. I mean, you bully me all the time.
Yeah, speaking of bullying, we're going to get to this. This Lanham Act claim fails. No false, no association, no false advertising, and no standing to sue. The Lanham Act claim against Lee should be dismissed because its no allegations do not satisfy the required elements for either false association or false advertising. The statute provides causes of action for false association, requiring use of protectable mark likely to cause confusion as origin or sponsorship, and false advertising requiring false or misleading commercial statements about goods or services. See Parks v. Tyson Foods, Crystal Entertainment Filmworks v. Gerardo. First, Hales does not allegedly use any mark, name, or symbol owned by Hales in a manner likely to cause confusion regarding origin, sponsorship, or affiliation. I don't think that is the point.
And also, if I can point out, I've been obviously, I was editing some of my videos and I was watching the stream muted. I do apologize, you know, but there was something I noticed. You know that all this document or the document, the information in this said document, do you know that it's all AI?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. If you look at that page you got on there right now, association line required, sponsored and advertising required. You see those lines there?
Yeah.
Right. Do those lines basically that when you finish typing in what the AI will do, it will take what you've typed in and then basically put it into more of a, how can I put it? More of a like professional look, right? And the thing is, I mean, I use AI because I can't spell for crap. If I try to spell my name, it looks like Satan backwards. So, you know, but at the end of the day, I know I remove those lines and put the sentences a little bit closer together so it doesn't look too spread out. I've been noticing it quite a lot from Lisa herself, that when she does produce documentation, there are a lot of these lines. And obviously she's going to be watching this, and she's then in the future, these lines are going to disappear. But this has been happening for months.
Yeah, and the cases she cites, I'm just like, they just don't make any sense to me.
And something else from earlier on, if I may make a statement earlier on about Jeremy Hales losing financially. Of course he's losing financially. People, you know, he's not losing just financially on YouTube, but also from other businesses. I mean, for example, as soon as Olight was mentioned, look where Lisa was. She was in that like fly on shit yet again. When it came to Whatnot, the fact that Deuce Matskin, okay, contacted whatnot, she was all over that like a fly on shit. Every single thing when it comes to disruptance of his business, she has been the center point of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry.
No, it's just some of these. There are no facts indicating Lee used Hales marks to identify her own goods or services, nor allegations of secondary meaning, market presence, or confusion required by law.
Wait, what? There are no facts indicating Lee used Hales marks to identify her own goods or services, nor any allegations or secondary meaning, market presence, or confusion as required by. No. She used Jeremy Hales marks to gain monetary to make monetary gain, because she got super chats, she got people sending her super chats, memberships, everything else, and plus her videos are monetized. So therefore, she is gaining by using his marks and so hello.
Whoa, you there?
Yeah, I'm just going. Oh,
sorry, I just went to your channel and got your link.
I was like, tell her, I don't know if I should be afraid or flattered by that, but thank you very much. Oh, yes. Sorry. And just for the record, I am not an arsehole. I am just a very outspoken individual, okay? So if you think I'm an arsehole and you think that I'm rude and disrespectful, 90% you're right. But the thing is, I do choose my words. Anyway, I think any lawyer or any judge who looks at this, from when I was listening and then I started editing my videos and I was watching what you were showing. No. You're trying to get out of this by using excuses. The evidence is against you. Just like our little friendly boy David, the evidence is against him. The behavior. I mean, if you go back 3-4 years on Lisa Rabusi Lee, whatever her freaking name wants to be, freaking crampon, okay? All right, if you go back, this is not the only person she's done this to. So let's just make that absolutely clear. This is not the first time she's gone hounding after someone.
Yeah, just watch. We're going in circles. You'll catch on quickly. Oh, and hey, Cynthia.
We're not going in circles. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, you need to remember, if you're new and you don't understand what's going on, this is the biggest problem. People don't do the research and then catch up to the point, and that's where all the confusion starts. And reading this, it's like Bruce Matskin has wrote this out and gone to Lisa, there you go, take that and put that in. This is not just her doing. This is not just her writing this. That I bet my left leg. I was going to say something else, but it's a family show, so.
Your left man part.
No, easy. No.
Anyway, Lee's and this is where it gets. The Lanham Act's false advertising provisions applies only to commercial promotion or advertising, not to general criticism or personal attacks. And here's and I'm skipping the y'all can read the case law yourself. Lee alleged solicitation of donations does not constitute commercial advertising of goods or services under the Act. Donations are not sales or offers for sale. Girl, I hope you're not selling anything. Like, you're not offering to sell anything.
Oh, shit.
And Hales does not allege that Lee competes with him in any market. By being another YouTuber, you are by definition competing. It's business. Like, like, I hate to break it to you, but like, when you monetize, technically you and I are competing. Friendly competition, of course, not anything like, but by definition, we are in competition with each other because that is what YouTube is. You're all competing for the same views, the same people, the same accounts. Like, it is what it is.
Can I just point something out, please? Right. I know that I'm a Welshman, and that I like sheep. Okay, we got that. We know that part. But I know that, like, my background on with research and actually understanding the common sense. I'm sorry, I swore. I do apologize, everybody. I used a swear word, common sense. I do apologize. I swore again. I'm sorry. Right, but let me just read out, and let me read it out in a shut up, you. Right.
No, read Gail's comment. That's Malin's fault, by the way.
That's just wrong, Gail. Anyway, I'm going to read this out in, a different language than Americanese. Lee's alleged solicitation of donations does not constitute commercial advertising of goods or services under the Act. Donations are not sales of offer of sale. And Hales does not allege that Lee competes with him in any market. See Cybersound records of that. Right. Let me point something out. Let me just point something out for those uneducated who are sitting on the outside and haven't subscribed and come in and said hello. Alleged solicitation of donations. When you sit on your platform, you absolute freaking cockwomble, and ask people to donate money to something, that is solicitation, you absolute knob jockey. I rest my case, Your Honor. Just saying. I'm just saying. Just pointing it out. I'm just saying.
And Angie, there's going to be decisions on both sides that you don't agree with. If both sides think the judge is biased, he's not biased. I do think the judge just hates this case in general, and everybody involved. I don't think it's personal. I think this case sucks, and this case sucks.
Do you know, it's all this telling me not to swear is just pushing me to drink.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that's it. They're pushing me to drink more Dr. Pepper, and I've been told by my queen not to because I'm getting fucking love handles.
At least yours is better than ours. Yours is real sugar.
Yeah, do you want me to send you some?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now come over, shaking but not.
All right, let's get back to the document. And Alfie brought up a really good comment.
Oh, did she? Sorry.
No, the creators are the product.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, if like, say for example, you sit on your platform and you go, "Hey guys, I would like you to go and, I would like you to go and help so and so with so and so. Anything is welcome. Blah blah blah." Okay, there are two things. Like on my stream many months ago, I helped a veteran who needed a mobility scooter to be more mobile. What I did was informed people of a link to a GoFundMe, but I did not ask for any funds to be sent to me. I said, and I quote, "Even if it's $1 or anything, if you can help, please help. But if you can't, it's okay." Now, what is that? Is that request, solicitation, or just basically trying to help someone? Oh, you're going to get them right between the eyes, Cynthia. No, wait. Sorry. No, that sounded wrong. Shit.
Cynthia subscribed to this channel when I had less than 100 subscribers. So she's an OG.
I know, Cynthia. Hi, love you. But no, seriously, there's a difference between helping someone and being legitimately helping someone with transparency, which I have. I've got all the transparency of that support for Eric. Whereas this person has not shown one piece of financial transparency except the fence is there. So that means money was spent on that. However, that money was collected and completed and ordered in October. The Christmas decorations, Christmas presents, and other stuff they've wasted on money. But here's a question. I don't see anyone saying, well, wait a minute, where did Lynette Preston get that electrical scooter, which is probably worth a couple of grand?
Yeah, by the way, Gail brings up a good point. By the way, he got the scooter.
Who got the scooter?
Eric.
Oh, yes, yeah, he did. Yeah, absolutely. With the great support from Snowflower, with the biggest heart going, and other people of the community. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and getting back to the document.
Yeah.
More importantly, Hale lacks the statutory standing under Lexmark International v. Static Controls Components Incorporated. A plaintiff must follow.
Components Incorporated. Yeah, static control and components incorporated.
Yep. A plaintiff must fall within the, quote, zone of interest protected by the Act, commercial reputation or sales. Yeah, she wouldn't know how to use this punctuation on her own.
AI, AI written.
And show proximate causation.
Mm-hmm.
Hales admits his business loss predates Lee's conduct. She admit very poor choice of wording there.
Yep.
Very poor choice of wording. She tells on herself in this multiple times and does not allege any direct diversion of sales or loss of goodwill proximately caused by Lee's statements. If Hales seeks to allege defamation or reputational harm, such as claims are not actionable under Lanham Act, which does not cover personal attacks or general criticism. Because Hales, well,
hang on a minute, didn't she contact?
This is not a complete sentence.
No, it's not. And the thing is, she's contradicted herself there. If Hales seeks to allege defamation and reputational harm, well, yes, you contacted Olight. You even stated in one of your live streams that you've emailed them. Bruce Matskin contacted an email, whatnot. So there's factual evidence that you have defamed and harmed his reputation by your act. Oh my God, this can't be this can't be real. I'm sorry. This can't be real. This must be a joke. This is a joke, right? This is a late April Fool joke, right?
No actionable commercial advertising protected commercial interest or false representation. Section 43 of the Lanham Act protects against unfair competition and false advertising affecting commercial interests. Hales does not allege use by Lee of his trademarks, trade dress, or protected commercial indicia in advertising or sale of goods or services. The statement as issue related to Hales' character, conduct on social media, not to any product or service.
Oh my God! You just hey, Crampon! You just shot yourself in the foot with a bloody shotgun with birdseed in it. With that comment. Have you noticed that she's using that? That go back up a minute. She's using the Lanham Act quite a lot.
Well, Jeremy used the Lanham Act in his complaint, so that's why. However, she's using it in a way that's not appropriate. The attributed statements are expressions of opinion or criticism, not of false factual assertions about goods or services. See Tobinick. Hales does not allege any statements suggesting confusion over product origin or quality. Quality is subjective. Hales also lacks standing as he alleges only reputational harm and diversion of donations. 1, they're not donations. 2, reputational harm when you're a business owner is everything. Yep. Your reputation is everything. I just can't. Do you
know what she's doing right now? I'm telling you right now, and this is no speculation. This is freaking fact. I know who wrote this. Luthman. Luthman has something to do with this because the wording. Hales also lacks standing, and he's alleges only reputational harm and diversion of donations. Who would talk like that?
A lawyer.
Yes. And what type of lawyer?
A shady one?
Yep. One that spent 2 years in federal prison out of 4. Yeah. Mr. Paint Chips, you absolute plank.
Claims for trade libel or defamation are not cognizable under the Lanham Act. Does she know what that means?
I don't think because he's using it way too much for it to. I mean, I've heard about putting in case files and stuff like that. Fine. But she's using this Lanham Act way too much.
Well, think about a brick and mortar business. If a business makes decisions and stuff that you don't like, or you don't like the owner's personality, you're not going to go to the business.
Mm-hmm.
So why is YouTube any different? She thinks that this is like a YouTube, like it's this whole thing. It's a whole different thing when it's really not. Your reputation as a business owner is your life. If your reputation sucks, whether that be actual fact that you're a shitty person or because someone defamed you and made people believe you're a shitty person, your reputation is everything.
Mm.
And like,
I mean, look, I mean, there are not that many excuses in her behavior and the conduct, and the fact that she was full blown involved with the Olite thing and everything else, and the character assassination. I mean, the real libel, defamation, character assassination, and everything else that happened last year, and it's been going on this year as well. But the moment everything starts falling apart, now this suddenly comes up. Why didn't she write this in the first place? Why was this not stated in the first motion she put in on her defense? Why wasn't this mentioned then? It just shows you that, like, here's the thing. And I've always said this: never take advice from someone else and then make it your own, because you're gonna get burnt. Because everything she does here now, if she goes to court and she does not have a lawyer, and she sits in court, she's gonna get cross-examined on this, and it's gonna blow out the water because she doesn't. I don't think she understands what she's doing, which proves my point. She's an absolute plank.
and I'm about to put a comment in, but like, she has no idea what these words mean. Country gal. I'm country. I have no idea what some of these words mean. However, if I was writing a legal document, I would either, one, look them up to make sure I was using them in the right way, or second, not put any words in a legal document. Like, you don't have to use big words to make people think you're smart. You just have to have a good argument. And sometimes staying in your lane when it comes to the language used and not trying to use big words just for the sake of big words can actually make you appear smarter, because you're not trying to be something you're not.
I don't use big words.
I don't either. Well, when I do, I know what they mean, though.
I use small 4-letter words that usually get the point across very quickly.
I just have to use one finger, which is the equivalent of a 4-letter word.
Yeah, okay. I was just about to say, you can keep it family friendly. No. Ooh, can I read that?
All right, you want to read section 4?
Oh, yes, please. Ladies and gentlemen, and this is Spawn Trooper speaking here. Lee's alleged conduct is not false advertising under the fuck off. Pardon, sorry, got Tourette's. Hales' claim under 15 United States Code paragraph 1125A1B should be dismissed because the alleged conduct does not constitute commercial advertising or promotion. The statute applies only to false or misleading statements of fact about goods or services. Oh, you just shot yourself in the foot, that one. See POM, a wonderful LLC, Vases, Coca-Cola Co., and all that stuff. Crocs Incorporated and effervescent, that word.
Effervescent.
And that stuff. Federal Circuit Court 2024. Lease statements, criticism, and allegations of personal misconduct do not concern any product or service. Actionable statements must be specific, measurable assertion of fact, not subjective opinion or hyperbole. See Oracle International, Vases Reminiscent Inc., and all that information. Statements like shady, scammer, or stalker are non-actionable opinions. No, one's an allegation, two's an allegation, and three is an opinion. So basically, shady is an opinion, scammer is an allegation, and stalker is an allegation. So you messed up on that one as well. And non-actionable opinions. No, only one of those three is an opinion. Even accusations of embezzlement or grifting relate to personal conduct. No, there are allegations. Not to any product or service.
I have something on the even accusations of embezzlement are relate to a personal conduct, not to any product or service. But when it's your channel and you are the product.
Exactly. You're the product for your channel.
Oh my God.
I'm the product for my channel. But I don't think I think this is why this tells me that I believe that she is being coached. That's this. I mean, like, this is now I think the second time I've seen, because I try to avoid anything about them. But this is now the second time I have seen reputation vibrating chair with puddle under. Wait, what? I'm going to my happy place right now. Oh my word. Solicit, right? Okay, soliciting donations on YouTube does not constitute commercial advertising or promotion under the Lanham Act. There you go again, Lanham Act. I think that vibration under the chair there. Oh, she's off. She's off. Someone write in capital letters.
I haven't laughed that hard in a long time.
Yeah.
Terry, that was awesome.
Yeah. Commercial speech. I'll wait till you're ready.
Terry, oh my God, you know I love you, but that was probably the funniest comment you've ever made on this channel.
Oh,
usually your comments are more like serious than like, related to the topic, but that you did.
I'm glad that you didn't pee yourself when you're laughing that hard. Actually, yeah. Oh, I think a little bit of pee popped out there. So I carry on reading. Let me know when I'll carry on reading, because it's like watching you laugh is. I'm just waiting for you to go. Oh shit! I'll be right back.
JK Films had to add an extra little tidbit.
Hi JK, mate. How you doing?
Oh, yep. Terry wins comment of the day.
Yep. I think that deserves to be clipped. Absolutely.
Oh, right. Clipping is turned off. I will post it as a separate short. Yeah. I don't clip these. I turn clipping off on these channel or on these streams because people take screenshots, screen recordings and stuff and post them in their Discord streams. So I try not to give anybody easy, if you want to clip my stream, you're going to have to work for it.
Those are the village people. That's what I call them. I've been calling them the village people. Yeah. No, go back up. We're not. Oh yeah, yes we are. Right. Soliciting donations on YouTube does not constitute commercial. I can't believe I just said that fucking publicly. Advertising or promotions under the Lanham Act. Commercial speech must propose a commercial transaction and reference a specific product, which is not allowed here.
Alleged.
Again, she's contradicted herself. Hales also fails to allege economic or reputational injury caused by the consumer deception. Oh my God, I swear to God. Do you know, and this is a message for Lisa, Lee, Rabushi, whatever your freaking name is, Flea, Walrus, Crampon, freaking Alien, whatever. When you fill out the stupid tree, and you hit every branch on the way down, and they promote you to branch manager, did you offer to teach other people?
Jesus.
I mean,
Sorry.
Seriously, whoever's helping you write this, obviously are writing it to make it sound good, but everything you've done in the last 8 months is exactly that. Oh God. Anyway,
Yeah, branch manager. That was the kicker.
The brand, yeah. Supervisor would be too much. Anyway, Hale's own pleadings show any loss predated Lee's statement. Well, of course, because you're not involved in this and you did not use Lynette Preston as a staging ground for your considerate hate towards Jeremy Hales, because you were butthurt. So
this last paragraph, man, is infuriating. I'm going to read this one just because.
Yeah, go for it.
Finally, Hales and Lee are not competitors in any market for goods or services.
Oh my God!
You dum-dum. Thanks for letting the judge know you have no business sense whatsoever. And the alleged deception does not relate to Hales products or services. Hales is the product. The Lanham Act does not provide a federal cause of action for allegations of fraud or self-enrichment, absent a connection to commercial advertising about goods or services. When you have a YouTube channel, you are the product. Accordingly, Hales' Lanham Act claim should be dismissed with prejudice. Oh, you missed it. Back up like 3 or 4 minutes. Failure to state a claim for civil conspiracy against Lee. Under Florida law, to state a claim for civil conspiracy, a plaintiff must allege, 1, an agreement between 2 or more parties. You got like 5 or 6. To do an unlawful act or do a lawful act by unlawful means. Defamation is an unlawful act. Defamation is not in this, but if you are conspiring with people, and the text messages will show because y'all, and don't you start dirty deleting now.
Oh, you should try. Can I just read something out for the people that may need a little bit of input very quickly? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Lanham Act, also known as the Trademark Act of 1946, is a primary federal statute in the United States that governs trademark law. It provides a framework for registration, maintenance, and protection of trademark use in commerce, allowing the federal lawsuits for infringement, dilution, cyber squatting, and unfair competition such as false advertising. The act was named after Representative Fritz Lahmann, who's championed the legislation to create a comprehensive national system of the trademark protection in the United States. So that's just for you guys, just to make sure you understand what that is. And everything that the crampon and what Lisa and Tori did at the beginning until recently has gone against every bit of that. Why do you think the header in the fake What the Hell's group has disappeared? That is one of the reasons. Okay, now I'm sorry. Can I ask you a serious question? I've actually taken my glasses off. I have to ask you. People say it's in the water. I mean, me and you've discussed food, contents of food.
That's why I drink filtered water in this house.
Yeah. So I'm just really want to know: is it in the water, or is there a lot of people in the United States who are ingesting something that makes their IQ go from 0-1 to low?
Mainstream media.
Oh boy, yeah.
Mainstream media. All right, we're getting back into this because we don't have that much left, and I have to go pick up a Walmart order in about 20 minutes. So,
I'll show. I'll even mute myself.
The doing of some overt act in pursuance of the conspiracy and damage to the plaintiff as a result of the acts done under the conspiracy. Walters v. Blankenship. An actionable conspiracy requires actionable underlying tort or wrong. unless the plaintiff can show some peculiar power of coercion possessed by conspirators by virtue of their combination, which individual acting does not possess. Hales claims in a conclusory fashion that Lee and all defendants agreed to intentionally participate in civil conspiracy among themselves. That's the thing. You don't have to agree to anything.
Nope. But that's fact. They did. They did exactly that.
It's in the food.
Is it? Stop eating the food. I'll send you some food from over here.
To violate Florida's Unfair Trade Practices Act, the Lanham Act, to commit tortious interference, yet only specific conduct attributable to the league consists of hosting live streams, interviewing guests, including other defendants, and making statements critical of Hales. It's okay. Can you pick it up, please?
That's good. She's admitted it. She's actually admitting that she's done that. Good. Keep going.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, she fails to say what those statements are, and those are actionable statements. She asks people to do things. Nowhere does Hales allege facts showing Lee and other defendants actually entered into an agreement. You don't have to.
Nope.
Or had a meeting of the minds to accomplish any unlawful purpose. That's the thing about the law. You don't have to.
Mm-hmm. But what the Hales ecosystem, that's what they did.
Yeah, but it's like you don't have to write something down that we're going to do this. That's not the point. If you're in a conspiracy and you're writing shit down, that's the dumbest thing you can do.
Mm-hmm. Always keep it verbal.
Hey, in my opinion, none of these will lead to any trial. Eventually, they will get dismissed. Sort of gave up on it all because it leads to nowhere, and no way the white whale wrote this.
I'm going to call them the whales now. No, I'm not, because that's where I'm from.
And hey, buddy, how are you? I haven't seen you in here in a while. It's good to see you. Oh, 3:22. Yeah. Thanks for the girl. You're gonna fall. All right. Florida courts have repeatedly held that a conclusory allegation of agreement without more is insufficient. The complaint's factual allegations reveal that Lee's conduct is limited to her operation of a YouTube channel. Bullshit, bitch. Where she live streams, interviews others, and discusses newsworthy topics, including her opinions about Hales and his business practices. I seem to recall some emails that Shara had from BBB where he was laying out the details behind the ecosystem that is very much agreeing them to conspire. Yeah.
Yep.
There's that. The statements Lee made, while critical or even harsh, are not themselves unlawful acts, nor do they constitute unlawful means under Florida or federal law. The First Amendment protects commentary, opinion, and even sharp criticism about matters of public concern. Yeah, but this isn't the First Amendment.
Nope.
This has nothing to do with the First Amendment. Hey, Musi.
Oh my God, the jocks are here.
Paragraphs, those simply recount Lee's statements and live stream activity, none of which allege any overt act in furtherance of unlawful conspiracy. It doesn't have to be overt. The fact that Lee's guests included others who have been criticized by Hales, or that Lee accepted the voluntary donations, they're not donations from viewers, does not transform her conduct into a conspiracy. Voluntary.
Sorry, I have to stop you there. The donations she received were not voluntary. They were given to her after request. Let's help Lynette build that barnum. Let's help her her and da. That's not voluntary. That's requesting. That's soliciting. Sorry, I'll shut up.
You're right. There's no factual allegation that Lee or her guest took any action beyond public speech or commentary that would satisfy the overt act requirement for civil conspiracy. Calling Olite or calling whatnot.
Yep.
Asking your viewers to call them. That's one of the reasons that I do not tell anybody what to watch or what not to watch. Because that is interfering with someone's business.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do that shit. Well, I will tell people who to watch. Like, you know, Musi has a channel. When Three Awesome Dogs is in here, he has a channel. Spawn, you have a channel. I tell people who to go watch and who I support. But other than that, I don't tell people who or what they should do because none of my damn business.
I mean, you could. I mean, in that aspect, like say for example, you've got a little bit more experience, and you know, I mean, I ask you for advice. I've asked other people in the background for advice in regards of like, you know, YouTube itself. But I've never had anyone turn around to me and say, you do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, because normally I usually tell you two specific words and one starts with off, you know. So no, but the thing is, this is what I was saying when I first came on, is that the fact that she is now on other people's streams, and this is not the first time she's done this. When she knows it's you know, when it's getting too hot in the kitchen, she will jump out of the kitchen and go onto other people's streams for a while, or she won't stream with certain individuals for a while, and then suddenly, when it's mentioned, they suddenly reappear.
Yeah, and then she goes into the fact that she did this before he had this lawsuit before she got involved. Mere correlation is not causation. Hales failed to plead any fact showing Lee's conduct resulted in compensable damages. A civil conspiracy claim could not stand without action.
Stop. Go back up. Stop there. That there is absolute bullshit, because she has mentioned it, pardon my French, she has mentioned it multiple times, and she's actually admitted it, because this was all about Guapo and everything else. Allegations that Lee Scheme, like she was prior to the defendant Lee leaving as Hales moderator and engaging in Hales. All that happened around the time, right, because of Guapo. Okay, so yeah, you've just thrown yourself right under the bus there, Lee. Well done. Congratulations.
A civil conspiracy claim cannot stand without actionable underlying wrong. As argued above, Hales failed to allege facts sufficient to state a claim for tortious interference, violation of trade practices, or Lanham Act against Lee. She's literally just repeating what she said.
Yep.
Which I'm not going to read again because it's just going to give me more of a migraine. Hales does not allege, even in conclusory terms, that Lee and the other defendants possessed any peculiar power of coercion. Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Just a quick one. That bit there with the anti-slap. Can you remember when I did a live stream on the slap?
Yeah.
And then the next night, suddenly they're talking about it, and they never, ever, prior to that night when I did that stream, did they ever talk about the slap statute. And then when I brought it up, suddenly it was like number one conversation.
Because Hales alleges nothing more than Lee hosted live streams and interviewed individuals about their experiences with Hales, conduct fully protected by the First Amendment. I hate when people hide behind the First Amendment in order to be assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this right here. If I tell a lie often enough, it becomes true in their mind. Mm-mm. What did the hand say to the face? Slap.
This is what it said.
Count 6 should be dismissed. There are no well-pleaded facts to supporting evidence of an agreement, unlawful act, or overt act in furtherance, damages, or any actionable underlying wrong. Hales' allegations are precisely the sort of conclusory, speculative, and retaliatory claims that Florida and federal law do not permit.
I'm just going to post this here. I'm just going to put this in chat here so people can actually understand what slap actually means and stands for. So there you go. I've still got that on my documents. I'll shut up now.
Under failure to state a claim for tortious interference, under Florida law, cause of action for tortious interference requires the existence of a business relationship. You're both YouTubers. Knowledge of the relationship by the defendant, an intentional and unjustified interference with the relationship by the defendant, telling people to contact other people, telling people to unsubscribe, telling people not to go watch his stuff. That's that right there.
Yep.
That this too. William Allen, how are you? Her constantly referring to all defendants is not going to help her with the practicing law without a license investigation. Yeah.
No. I mean, she suddenly became a subject expert in law. When was that?
As soon as she
February?
got sued.
Yeah, the moment she got sued, she suddenly became a subject expert. I wonder how much she's given Luthman or Matskin, allegedly.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Wait a minute, I know what she's given.
While malice is required for tortious interference, Hales does not allege facts showing Lee acted with the requisite malice towards any specific business relationship. Okay. The complaint describes Lee's contact as commentary, criticism, or fundraising for third parties, none of which is alleged to be motivated by a desire to harm Hale's existing business relationships.
Oh, God.
I say she's not even, based on this document, not even good at that.
I don't even think that she's wrote this, to be honest, because she's just thrown herself.
Lee and Hale are not business competitors. Bullshit. You're both YouTubers. Lee's YouTube activity is not alleged to target Hale's advertisers, business partners, or customers. Jesus, Pete, I just can't. Federal law, including Section 230, Communications Decency Act, preempts claims based on content posted by users on interactive computer services, further undermining Hale's claims. Oh, for all these reasons, Hales failed to allege blah, blah, blah. Lack of proper service deprives the court of jurisdiction over defendant Lee. I'm sorry. We're just going to skip this one because Lee was never served with the first amended complaint, to which the second amended complaint was derived, from which material alters the claims therein.
Wait, what?
So she says that she was never served. Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 4C mandates that summons and a copy of the complaint must be served upon each defendant. It is well established that before a federal court may exercise personal jurisdiction over a defendant, the procedural requirement of service of summons must be satisfied. In this case, defendant Lee was only served with the original complaint, which contains the claims of defamation that were subsequently removed in the amended and second amended complaints. Defendant Lee was never served with the first amended complaint, to which the second amended complaint was derived, from which the materially alters the claims therein, as required by Rule 5A2, which provides that a pleading that asserts the new claim for relief against such a party must be served on that party under Rule 4.
You know I mean, am I the only one who's realizing that? Wait, am I the only one who's noticed this? Who's just noticed something?
What?
That she is as dumb as a freaking doornail?
Well, we knew that. That I kind of knew that before this. So, you know.
I mean, she's publicly stated that she saw the guy on a CCTV. I'm going to go to my happy place.
Yep. And guess what? And that by her mentioning this, that leaves Randy can respond to it and put that in. And you know what that also proves? That it also lowers her credibility even more.
Come on, you can't be that. Come on, come on, people in America, you can't be this bloody stupid.
I'm wondering if
I don't mean every the minority.
Because plaintiff did not effectuate formal service of the first amended complaint and second amended complaint upon defendant Lee was derived from the first amended complaint, this court lacks personal jurisdiction as to any claims derived from this pleading. This is a stretch. And I accordingly, defendant Lee respectfully request the court dismiss all claims asserted in the first and second amended complaints for lack of personal jurisdiction pursuant to FRCP 12B2 and 12B5, where defendant Lee requests this court to the following: grant this amended motion to dismiss the claims against defendant Lee with prejudice. Not going to happen. No. If the court does not grant this motion, then direct plaintiff to amend his complaint, adding specificity to dates, times, specifics to his allegations of defendant Lee. All under other remedies is necessary. He gives dates and times every night on her live streams. Yeah, said she did not get the second off, but read it on stream from what I've seen. And I'm really hoping that if that is accurate, because I didn't watch, that Randy puts it in there. Yeah.
What do you, I mean? Here's what I would say. Okay, is instead of like, hey, crampons, if you're out there listening, here's the thing, and that goes for everyone who thinks they're clever. If you want us to get some donations together so we can buy you one of those little diggers, okay, with tracks. I mean, they're quite stable, and what we'll try and do, we'll get you a digger so you can dig that hole that you've already dug way quicker instead of using a spoon or I don't know. This is insanity, Squid. I mean, like it definitely hasn't been written by her. It's done through freaking AI, and like she's thrown herself under the bus because everything she's done on her live stream totally contradicts what.
Terry brought up a really good point. She responded to a motion she didn't get.
Oh, I missed that bit.
I mean, this is her response to the second amended complaint. So she responded to a motion that she claims she didn't get.
Uh-oh. Somebody's going to be in trouble.
All right. On that note, we are 3 hours and 45 minutes into this. I have to use the little girl's room and do some mama duties. And I have to go to Walmart.
I thought you did when Kieran put that freaking comment up. I thought you peed yourself.
Nope. She will probably claim that she is Native American soon. Oh, don't give her any ideas.
Oh, God, yeah.
All right, guys. Toenails are going to sue for defamation.
Oh.
Okay. Before the chat makes me pee myself,
Can I just say something for the record? I have been following this probably just sort of when it all started. And I've seen what people have said about Jeremy and vice versa and everything else. But actually seeing this motion read out by you and listening to it, watching it and everything else.
And I've read this before because she put this as Exhibit C in document 87. So this was in the docket for a while. It was just repurposed. So,
I mean, here's the thing though, like, and just tell me if I'm wrong or not. And this is a question across the board. If hypothetically speaking, this gets thrown out of court or it's not accepted in court, whatever, and she walks away from this, but she realized that, at the moment, Jeremy Hales is taking legal actions against her. She has to remember there's also another person involved in this. George can take legal civil actions against her. And here the thing is, there is so much evidence that's being collected from what they've done on their platform and other people's platforms, and they write crap like this.
Terry says, I'm only 45 minutes from Gainesville. When this actually, if it goes to court, she'll thinking I'll be there.
You know what you should do is get a couple of cheerleaders and put them out there and say, go, Lisa, go. You go to the jail, Go, Lisa, go. You go to jail, you know that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm having flashbacks to like 9th grade. Anyway, before we get going, Dan Davis, thank you for the $5 super chat. Please should get a sticker for playing. Thanks for playing.
But anyway, guys, if you were offended by my vulgar language, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty
Be careful, they might have it in Gainesville instead of Gainesville. You might have to go the 0 miles further.
Can you imagine you're in a room and they say, right, we're going to take this, we're taking this to another location. Oh, we don't have money, we can't fly anywhere. It's okay, just come next door. Yeah. But Squid,
all right,
thank you very
guys.
much.
Sorry, I'm working on my my
Ooh.
Mandela.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you so much for having me on your stream. I really appreciate your hospitality.
No problem.
And I
Oh.
actually got Roy Lozinger to be sick. So
Well, all right. He says bye. I say bye. Spawn, you want to get us out of here?
yeah. Yeet.